What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Podcast, episode 193. Here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
I'm here with Adam.
This week we watched Fatman. Real Estate on Fatman.
Yeah, right. This movie came out like a week ago, it seems. Because we just watched the trailer. Yeah. November
I don't think it
24th.
hit theaters because it was like VOD.
Yeah.
I mean, it went straight up. You could like pay to watch it.
Right. Well, and I think that is the best place for this to go, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's a hard sell, right? Like, if you don't know about the movie and you watch the movie, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" You know?
It's best to just go at it cold, man.
I mean, we knew enough when we went in there.
Well, I knew it wasn't like some serious. Like, it is serious, but motherfucker Santa Claus.
Yeah, and I loved how, despite the grimdark and how serious it was, I liked how it maintained all of the classic Santa Claus tropes.
Motherfucker love cookies and milk.
Yeah. And I love how they made Santa Claus. Like, you know, you think of Santa Claus as this guy that delivers presents like all over the world in one night, and that like he, you know, does all this fantastical shit. But have you ever really seen him broken down as to where he's like this creature that has these special powers? You know what I mean? Like he's almost like a superhero to a certain extent, you know? And it's like I really like that they did that with the character where it's like, oh, so he's got power. Like he can drink a whole shitload of fentanyl and it don't phase him, and he can get shot in the head and survive. You know, like
he's immortal.
When you could see all that artwork,
yeah,
and it showed the one that looked like he was like a god or something. He was like Thor looking.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, what's that about?
Yeah, well, what happened?
And he was strong as fuck.
Yeah, right.
When he flipped that pallet back over.
Yeah, he's like, I got this, boys.
And then he came home and like straight just pulled the bullet out.
Yeah, with no issues. Put a little rubbing alcohol on it. He's fine. You know,
went straight to bed. Let's talk about Mrs. Claus.
When they were like, when they were asking me like, what keeps him going? He's like, it's the giving.
Yeah, right.
I laughed at that shit. I laughed at a lot of stuff in this film.
But that's the thing. Like, if everybody quits believing in Santa Claus, then he quits existing, right? So you got to think that, like, since kids are being more naughty, yeah, then people are not believing in Santa as much as they used to. So that's probably why, you know, he's a little bit, you know, rougher looking. Yeah.
And I mean, if there's a message this movie has, it's that kids are fucking assholes.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, it's kind of a commentary on the state of the world right now, right? Because like Christmas has and probably always will be like this sacred holiday where like if you're not good, you're not going to get presents up until a certain age, and it's the time of year for giving and all this kind of stuff. And it's like it brings everybody's good nature out to a certain extent. Well, I mean, kind of apply that to history and like how society has changed, because it's like you've always had assholes. You've always had, you know, people that are really bad people.
Society has allowed these assholes to come out and state their grievances now, and this is the end result.
Yeah, exactly. So I really like that aspect of it. You know, it's like it's really interesting the way that they tied everything up into a nice little bow and did what they did with it. It's just it was a great concept and it was a great execution, in my opinion.
Walton Goggins
was fucking amazing.
Had this obsession with collecting all these toys that he never got, and it had to have the made by Santa Claus in his factory.
Yeah.
I mean, it was clever. It was a clever spin on everyone's motives, you know?
Yeah. How crazy is it that the government shows up and they're like,
well, they do good work.
Yeah. And they work like
made in the USA. But I think he had to go through Canada to get there.
I think they're in Alaska.
Was it
somewhere,
Alaska?
maybe? Well, I mean, to be working with the government and then like because weren't those people there like citizens of the United States in that little town? I think it's got to be Alaska or somewhere like that. I don't know.
Well, let's see.
I was hoping.
So before they revealed them to us, did you guys think they were going to go as far as to fuck with the elves?
I didn't think so, but I'm glad that they did.
Yeah, I thought that was neat. I thought it was funny how when the government seized control, they clipped the bells off their shoes and
Yeah,
made them go through protocol.
gave them badges and the whole 9 yards. It's like, damn. They're like, you're gonna see some more faces that you ain't never seen around here, and it's like, come on.
They're like, why do they call you 7? They're like, we don't repeat numbers.
Yeah, right.
And then Santa's like, we've lost some good men through the years.
Yeah. We've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
North Peak is in Alaska. It's a real place. There's
Oh,
North
that's
Peak
awesome.
and South Peak.
He don't fuck with South Peak, right?
Yeah.
That's like the underground.
Well, when Goggins shows up, and you just have that moment where they have their little shit talk, we meet at last moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's just funny hearing Mel Gibson. Like no one else but Mel Gibson could have pulled this off.
No.
Sorry,
I don't
son.
think so.
He looks at him and he's just like, he's like, you think I got this job just being jolly and fat? Like,
Well, and they had that moment because he knew everyone.
Yeah.
oh,
Remember when the
that was
suits came to talk to him and he said, we had a bumpy road there for a while, didn't we? Whatever his name was.
Yeah.
You were touch and go.
That
You
was
brought it back.
that was cool too. How like occasionally he would tap into his Santa knows all. He
Yeah.
and when he runs off, the barfly at the beginning, and
Yeah.
He said, if you start driving now, you can make it in about 12 hours, spend time with your family for Christmas.
Yeah.
And that guy
he
was
still
like,
stayed
wait a minute, how the
wholesome.
hell?
Yeah.
But he'll go beat the piss out of a fucking. He'll go Captain America on a punching bag.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
for
cool
real.
how the government had this deal with him to deliver presents, and they would pay him, and like less and less kids, and it was a real like government check. Y'all remember that stimulus? That was a real straight up check there.
Well, I mean,
But
I
like
think
less and less kids are getting presents, so they're like, and he's like, it's not my fault they're fucking bad kids. I mean,
Yeah.
so the
And-
government mandated like everyone gets a gift, everyone gets a trophy. Like this movie had so many subtle things that you wouldn't pick on if you're not trying to deep dive on it. But when you start breaking these types of comedies down, they tend to have a lot of pokes,
Yeah.
at society for sure.
Yeah.
The corporatization of Christmas, overall, like, and with Mel Gibson's portrayal of Santa Claus being more or less representative of like the societal decay, the holidays are just really, and they're really not what they used to be. I think the
No.
three of us can agree, with the Christmas now as opposed to Christmas when we were young. I feel like we came in right as that type of thing started to die out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I feel like we probably started experiencing it as we were children, where Christmases became more of just let's get it over with type of holiday than hey, we're all together, we're all warm,
looking forward
we're
to
fed, we're good,
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the government guys really broke it down. It's like it's turned into consumerism.
Yeah.
Like the
It drives
epitome of
sales up.
consumer. Yeah. And that's basically what that's why like, it has been for a very long time, but Thanksgiving has always been one of my favorite holidays. And the reason why is because it's just people getting together and eating
Yeah,
and
it's not about the Christmas shit. Like it's
yeah. And that's what like, and my family is like we get together, like especially on my mom's side and my dad's side for the most part when everybody can, but we always get together and like the kids get presents. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like the younger kids get presents. All the adults like we may play,
Secret Santa or
Dirty
something.
Santa. Yeah, we
Yeah.
may play something like that, but it's just us like we'll get together, we'll eat, we'll do the present stuff for the kids, let them play with their stuff. And then like me and my brothers and cousins, uncles and all of us, we'll play board games or
Yeah.
cards and it's just everybody getting together and hanging out and having a good time. And it's like, I'm glad that like it is stressful. It's the most stressful time of the year,
Yeah.
you know. But I'm also glad that I've been in a family to where every time we get together, it's not a fight or an
Yeah.
argument
Drama.
or no, it's just all of us poking fun at each other and having a good time.
Do
You know
y'all
what I
do the
mean?
thing where after you eat, you let the kids open the presents and you watch them?
Yeah.
You let
Oh
the
yeah.
kids open? Yeah, so everybody can see what they got them and
Yeah.
see how
Yeah.
happy they are. And
Yeah.
yeah, and
Well,
then you get on to the adults doing the game, whatever game they got.
yeah.
And usually it's Dirty Santa. That's the game that, you end up with a fucking cutting board. And
Hey,
then by the
I'm
time you
thankful.
leave, by the time you leave, you got a spotlight or something. You got
Yeah. You
a
got a
fucking,
fucking toolkit.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
and then if you're a couple, the couples will work together.
Well, I mean, that's what we do.
Yeah.
She'll be
She'll
like,
be
I
able to
want
get
that.
you something. You might be able to get her something. Like,
Right. Well, I always forego my want, right?
mm-hmm.
So I'm like, once, because the last couple of years, I've always been like one of the last ones, or I'll have number one, which means you get a pick from everything, right?
Yeah.
And then she's like, I want that crock pot, or, I want this or
You're like,
that. And I'm
okay,
like, word.
we're getting
And
it.
she's like, what do you want? And I'm like, just take something that nobody's going to want.
Yeah,
Because
don't
what I
break
can
their
do,
heart.
yeah. Well, what I can do is I can take from you, right? And then you can take what you want, and I ain't got to feel bad about it. You
Yeah.
know what I put all the responsibility on her. You know
I've
what I
done that
mean?
before where you see somebody get something and they're really excited about it. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
want that, but I'm not going to take it. But
Yeah.
somebody else will.
Oh yeah, they don't care. But
Dirty Santa.
it's one of those things because I hear horror stories, of like families getting together and arguing and like raising hell
People getting
and all the
shot.
yeah, like just terrible things happening. Like suicide rate goes up, all this
Big
stuff
time.
happening. It's like it's supposed to be a holiday about like giving and all this kind of stuff, and it's turned into this just absolute domination of corporate America. And it's like it sucks, but what can you do? Like that's just what it's become.
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to take it as is. And I mean, look at this year in particular. Look at like you had new consoles come out. You can't find a fucking one of them to save your life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Kids are going to be devastated. You can't find like all these things have came out towards the end of the year and everything's sold out.
Or the
And
parents are out there paying double, triple
yeah,
just to
like
get the
yeah,
console so they can make their kid, because that's what their kid wants more than anything.
yeah,
And just the way the pandemic has altered society. Not
Yeah.
necessarily by means of like the mask and the physical aspects, but the mental toll that this has probably had on places that are more strict still than our particular neck of the
Yeah.
woods.
People that are still
You know,
quarantined,
yeah,
they
there's
they can't
I
get
think it
out
was
and get
I,
fresh air and
yeah, or I mean
stuck at
they
home.
just and you have a certain tax bracket of people that they're constantly goers. Like they spend more time out and about than they do at home, and then this happens, and you
yeah,
know it's a lot of this particular year. It's just it's more of the same, but I think mentally there's a lot of different factors at play.
yeah. Oh yeah,
And then the people that lost people this year,
yeah,
Absolutely,
they got to deal with that.
it's a pretty dark Christmas for sure.
yeah.
It's a year we'll never forget.
And people
No,
who are going through it during Christmas,
Yeah.
that's going to happen. And then, I mean, it's not to, I know the whole idea of this episode was for us to review and talk about like a funny action Christmas film, but I mean, the implications that the movie gave kind of make us have to address the elephant in the room anyway,
yeah, exactly, yeah. So, but I always thought it was that conversation that Santa and Mrs. Claus, where he's like, we should have kept the rights, like the merchandising. Like, look, they
Yeah.
put me on everything. Look at this. Why didn't we keep? You know what I mean? It's like And she's like, but that's not what it's about. It's not about the money. And he's like, yeah, but it is kind of about the money too, because like, if we don't have the money to make the toys, then guess what? Like, like and it really, in a weird, interesting way, shows you the whole like Santa Claus can't escape from it. The dollar rules. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
being able to do everything that you can. This is a fucking man that knows everybody.
Even Santa's got a lot, Bill.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he's got to feed all the elves, dude, and those cakes and shit, that ain't cheap.
A whole kitchen in that fucking
Mrs.
Nothing but
Claus
sweets.
she goes through a lot of icing.
Yeah,
remember
for
that part where
sure.
she was like, "You remember when I had that sugar-free, gluten-free phase?" He's like, "I remember it. I barely made it through it."
I lost 15 pounds.
Yeah, I like that the scene where he was going in on the punching bag,
Yeah,
and because he knows he's gonna have to take this deal.
yeah,
Like, there's no other way to Christmas may be over next year if he doesn't. Like,
yeah,
he's got to pay for all this shit, and it's like, so she comes out there and brings, they got some folders where gave a little girl a fire truck.
yeah,
And then when she grows up, she's a firefighter, and
yeah,
he's over here like, trying not to cry.
yeah. But I mean, that's
Like when he went out there to tell him, we got to do this government job. He's
yeah.
getting all choked up. And at first I was like, oh man, they're all going to get mad. But no, dude.
They're there. They're in it.
We're we're with you,
They were
dude.
the faithful few, man.
Yeah. It was a fucking great movie. Execution was great. Like, and just the little things like that. I mean, we've seen Santa Claus movies forever,
Yeah.
right?
All
Always
different
seen,
kinds.
yeah, all different kinds. But we've never seen a Santa Claus like this that's having problems
dude.
paying his bills.
This was pretty
And I
original.
love the toned down nature of like he lives in the middle of nowhere
Mhm.
in a cabin, and like the workshop obviously is underground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not this like fantastic, like over the top,
No, dude.
like
When he was out there working on the sled,
yeah,
it's all, it's just some, regular ass little barn. And he's
Yeah.
over there trying to take the thing. It's got the bullet holes in it.
Yeah, they were all like Santa and the elves and everything. They were so nonchalant about where they're at, like
yeah,
it was like no big deal, I guess.
And when he came in, he put his gun back in the gun box.
yeah.
I mean, he's got to carry a gun. That's the world we
Yeah.
live in. Because
Yeah.
motherfuckers might try to shoot Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Well, I only fear that this movie is gonna just be looked over and forgotten.
Yeah.
But I really think this movie is yet another. It's another glimpse into the fact that Mel Gibson is still a good fucking actor, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll release his sequel to The Passion of the Christ, and everyone will forgive him.
Yeah.
No pun intended. And maybe he can get some sort of mainstream recognition again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks that someone who we grew up being like, dude, he was one of the A-listers, dude.
Yeah.
You had Tom Cruise, you had fucking, Tom Cruise, Mel Gibson. Like, I mean, he was in that list of motherfuckers,
Yeah.
Bruce
Yeah.
Willis, he was up there with all of them. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. And
I mean, can anyone sit down and watch Lethal Weapon and can't and constantly have like the newer remarks that got him in trouble? Can someone honestly in good faith sit there and watch Lethal Weapon and just sit and ponder on that shit and ruin your viewing experience? Probably not.
No, I mean,
No.
because like here's the reality of the situation. Like, I don't even remember what he said or what happened, because like I can separate the art from the artist. You know what I mean?
and he
I
was
may not.
drunk and
Yeah.
going through a hard time in his life.
Yeah.
And, the woman that he was with secretly recorded him.
Yeah.
I mean,
trying to ruin
and-
him. That's what she was trying to get him canceled back before we started canceling people. Like,
And some people, one of the simplest arguments that I have for stuff like that, because I believe he was deemed an anti-Semite
Yes.
or Semite because of
Yeah.
his comments. And to go with your comment on separating art from artist, people use Wagner for comedic effect all the time, using Flight of the Valkyrie and all of his famous works to either add drama to a real serious moment or add levity or what have you.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was pretty racist too.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he's from centuries ago, but it's still, it's like, are we gonna cherry pick who to cancel now? Is it the
Yeah.
we don't have to
Yeah.
go into that crap, but still, I think it was a good movie, a good performance by Mel Gibson, and I think it still proves that he's got it. And to pull off a role like this, I think took some guts. I think
Oh,
if it was, I genuinely think if it was any other actor but him playing Santa Claus, I don't think we. I want to say he's partially the reason, besides Walton Goggins as well. Those two actors are the only reason anyone's going to give this movie attention.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's actually a good script.
Yeah. Yeah, and I hope that it is something that like it'll find its audience, but I hope that audience, because I would love nothing more than in like 5 years for
we
them to
talking?
do.
Are we talking Christmas cult here? Like,
Yeah, like there's a midnight showing of Fatman, somewhere, and people that are like super huge fans of the film show up dressed as Santa Claus or dressed in that all white fucking, skiing outfit that Walton
Yeah.
Goggins was in, and having a good time with it, because I mean, it says cult classic all over it.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think we need to. I think we need to. What would you call it? We should appoint it. We should start it now. Like,
A real
hoods
classic.
up, hoods up on our peppermint coats, man. We're going cult Christmas, dude.
Peppermint. It's a real classic.
I would gladly throw this in a marathon of movies with Bad Santa and stuff throughout the years.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and this is kind of like, there's always that debate, is Die Hard a Christmas movie, right?
Yes.
Well, this is Santa Claus fucking people up
Yeah.
when he has to. So there's no denying that this is a Christmas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, to me, it's like the writer was like, I'm tired of this debate, so let's just have Santa Claus be the badass.
Yeah. There's
So-
a hit man.
So here,
Yeah.
so to go, we don't need to. I know we don't need to pry the lid on the Die Hard debate too much, but I do want to ask a question to you, gentlemen. Do you, when you, in terms of what makes a Christmas movie, is it the setting, or is it part of the narrative?
Well, it kind of goes hand in hand, right?
I mean, I feel like it does. I feel like if you're like that's the sole reason I feel like Batman Returns is a Christmas movie. It's taking place during Christmas.
There's Christmas parties. Like in
it's
Die Hard,
it's got the
wasn't they having like a Christmas party at the office?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
like,
So
yeah,
I mean, if the setting is
Takes
there,
place
then I
during
mean,
Christmas.
I know that opens the gate for maybe a lot of films that people probably don't consider Christmas movies to be it, but I think I think the setting is just as much a character of a film as whatever the film's about. So, I mean, Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Court adjourned.
Yeah. Fucking you hit the gavel,
Yeah, dude.
But
Taken hostage by German terrorists during a Christmas party.
yeah, so I mean,
Oh man.
and then there's nothing more Christmas than that, like,
Yeah,
like
it's an action movie, but
yeah.
so is
But
this.
guess
I think it's because the three of us grew up watching Batman beat the shit out of all of Penguin's thugs.
Yeah, and their peppermint hoodies.
Yeah, that were like, you know what?
It's where the
Let me tell you
white
about your
stripes got.
fucking Rudolph, pal.
Yeah. No, I liked it, and I love an original. Because really, when it comes down to Christmas movies, you get like you either get the Santa Claus can't do it for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
So Fred Claus or Tim Allen accidentally kills Santa Claus or whatever. You have those movies. Then you have the Hallmark classics. It's a girl from the small town that's been living in the big city,
And she
guys.
comes
And
home.
she's
These are
going
the
home.
Hallmark movies, dude. They're all the
she's-
same. If
She's
you've
got to
seen
find
one,
that
you've seen
one
them
man
all.
that will tame her wild heart.
Well,
Yeah.
and then she goes home. All right, her new guy's gonna come visit, but maybe he can't
Yeah.
make it. Maybe he's city slicker when he shows up. Then she
Yeah.
meets the guy that she used to love. They fall
Yeah.
back in
the
love.
hometown honey.
She's
Yeah.
got to break off the damn engagement with the new guy.
Yeah.
But the family like the guy's still hanging out with
Yeah.
the old guy's still like friends with the family. He comes over. He's
Yeah.
a part of their
Repairing the
life. Like,
porch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she learns to live, she learns to love, and she learns just a little bit about Christmas on the way.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
there's a
and then,
mistletoe.
yeah.
Yeah, like it just like you guys said, she comes to town, she's got her boyfriend can't make it.
Or he's just
Her
a
and the
dick.
dude
He's
start-
not into
they
Christmas.
start-
He don't like
they
kids.
start to Yeah, the new guy's like, man, I wish I had a family.
Yeah.
And then they start hanging around, the romance blossoms, the guy does show up, he's like, hey, they let me out of the office 2 days early,
What's
I'm
up?
here. And
Yeah.
then she rejects the dude's like, man, I guess I'll go back to my weird like pocket thieving
And then
days,
they come
you
back
know?
together.
Yeah. She realizes that, hey, I need to cut the chuffa, ditches fucking city slicker, and
Yeah.
roll credits.
They need to stop making those movies because it's
Yeah.
like
I know.
Well, as long as
hundreds
there's
of 'em.
as long as there's a Karen that subscribes to cable, they will
Yeah.
continue to make
as
'em.
long as the Hallmark Channel keeps getting hits,
Yeah.
because that's where you see
Ha-
them. Hallmark.
Hashtag cut the cable, Karen.
So you've got
Funny.
that. You've got the Hallmark Christmas films. You've got the occasional like children Christmas film, and
But usually the children movie, the children Christmas films, they're almost always a race against time. They got to save Christmas.
yeah, always, dude. We're saving. We've got
If they don't
Christmas
show
films.
the junior high bully the error of his ways, Santa can't deliver the gifts.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got to believe in him, or he can't come.
Yeah,
You got to jingle all the ways.
yeah. So
you got the
and-
weird movies where it always is just vague. You never see Santa, you just see the reindeer, like the movie
Yeah.
Prancer.
So, but this is just something that is just completely out of left field. And think like there's horror Christmas movies where Santa he's done with your bullshit
Yeah.
and you're being
Yeah, but-
naughty.
Well, you got Bill Goldberg Santa.
Yeah. So he shows up and shows out with a chainsaw or some other form of torture.
Which I
So-
think we all know the coveted film for that now is Krampus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's just nice that they were like, I got this idea. And he got the money and he got 2 fantastic actors. Like Walton Goggins, I bet he read the script and he's like,
Was
this
like,
is
hell
fucking
yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
this is
yeah.
fucking
Sign me
amazing.
up.
He's like, I get to make
Yeah,
a movie with Mel.
because
I make a
the
movie
whole
with Mel
film-
Gibson.
Throughout the whole film, he doesn't question answering to this kid a bit.
he's getting
Remember on
mad,
his phone,
dude.
though, it said little shit when he would call.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, let's throw the microscope on this kid for a second. So this kid hires hitmen to make sure he wins the science award.
Well, he's got some daddy issues.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Daddy wasn't there. He grew up with maids and his grandma.
and he got a bear from
He's
old
got to
Pop.
win every. What was funny was like you look at his room. He's got like artwork on the walls, a
Yeah,
library. He gets this bear. And he's like, "The fuck am I for, dude?
yeah,
I'm winning
then-
fucking science fairs, dude." See, his dad don't even know him anymore.
yeah, yeah. And it come from what, the Caribbean?
Yeah,
And it was like he must be down there with his new fucking girlfriend,
Yeah.
like
and you could tell the dude was a little shit because all the maids were scared of him.
They didn't want to deal with his ass.
Dude, he loses
Oh.
the thing, and he has Walton Goggins' brain. And whenever he shot those two people, I thought that was their parents.
I did too. I did too.
And then he goes and brings the girl in, and he's got that battery hooked up, sparking it. He's like, "You're gonna fucking say you cheated."
You gotta turn that goddamn ribbon in,
I'm
bitch.
like, dude, I'm gonna turn you in. You're a fucking
Yeah, for
psycho,
real.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh, and when Goggins drops her off, he's like, "So you were at the mall?
I
with
don't
your
have any
girlfriend."
presents. You were thinking
were
about buying
thinking.
presents. Yeah. You
Hi-
better
and
make
his-
something up.
his whole performance too, because like he didn't want to hurt that girl, you know, and like he had a personal vendetta against Santa.
Yeah.
But his whole thing is like he wanted Santa to bring his parents back, and even Santa was just like,
You
"There's certain
twisted boy.
things." Well, there's certain things that Santa can't do. He's like, my power is only good for certain things,
Well-
and unfortunately, bringing parents back to life.
Oh, he said
He's
I
not one of-
couldn't like replace your parents.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because when he was talking to the kid, he said, "You know what I got on Christmas?" And he held
Yeah,
his
the
arm out, and
burns.
his mom was burning him with a cigarette.
Yeah,
So he had like a terrible childhood.
right.
It was bad.
Yeah,
And I'm guessing with the way, you know, that little interaction they had, it was almost like he wrote Santa letters like, "Please, you know, like
Yeah.
I want a new family. My family's terrible." Like,
yeah,
and he's like, I can only do so much.
yeah.
I gave you a cop car. I was hoping
Yeah.
you grew up to be a cop.
Right.
Or call the police.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
DHR,
take a
something,
hint.
defects.
Yeah.
I mean, that was sad though when he was trying to tell him. He was like, "What, Jonathan Miller?"
Yeah.
I mean, I know who you are. I know what's up. I remember the letters.
Yeah.
He said, "You think you're the first person that's tried?
Yeah.
Let's go."
And that shootout was great.
Yeah.
Right. And then,
it went total Western for a minute there.
Yeah.
yeah.
What was awesome was whenever he first came in, he wiped out a small platoon, but he couldn't hit a shot on Santa. Like
No.
Santa had moves.
They
Yeah.
went full road company, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I thought he was dead, right?
Oh yeah.
I thought that he had killed Santa.
Well,
Here's
whenever
a-
he was squeezing the snow and she said, "It's okay, everything's okay now," I thought she was saying like, "We're all
You're
fine.
going-
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
you
right.
Like, you
guys
can,
go.
yeah." But he was
Yeah.
like, so he got shot in the eye, which happens to
He's like,
people.
but he's Santa. He's
Bushwick
fucking
Bill got
immortal.
shot in the eye. He didn't
you
die.
know?
You know.
Yeah. That's crazy though. I thought what was going to end up happening was like, and this would have been kind of cheesy, but this is where I thought they were going to go with it. Walton Goggins kills Santa. Feels bad about it.
Kills the little kid.
No.
Oh,
Well, his way of like fixing the situation is he's going to take over the
he
Santa
was going
mantle.
to get the coat because he
Yeah.
said he had to hand his coat down.
Yeah.
I
So I
also
thought
liked how the Santa suit wasn't like your traditional Santa Claus suit.
Yeah, right.
I mean, he drive the old beat up red Ford.
Yeah.
like all the cues to Santa were so funny, but in like that
Yeah.
Alaskan fucking barely getting by style, you know?
Yeah.
So you thought it was going to go that way where he takes over?
Yeah.
He's the new
he felt
Santa
so-
Claus?
Yeah. And I'm like, well, what if, the Santa that we have now, like, he was a badass and he killed Santa on,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then
yeah.
that's why he's
That's
a
how
badass.
you get to be
still.
Santa.
Yeah, right. You just
I mean,
take
it
him
worked for
out.
Tim Allen.
Yeah, exactly.
Killed old Santa. Dude, whenever he shot him, I was like, I think I said out loud, "No,
Yeah, right.
no, what?" And because it was just so quick.
Yeah.
And he was looking at him, and he was going to say something to him, and he just went, "Plonk." And I was like, "Oh, no,
Yeah.
no, not this." And then I'm like, "Oh, my God, he's going to kill his wife. He's going to
Yeah.
get away with this shit."
But no. Oh, Mrs. Claus fucked his ass up,
Well,
didn't
she
she?
told him, too.
Oh.
She said, "I'm sorry."
I just like that everything that they like whenever they veered into the typical like to the Santa lore, they did it in such a way that was like, that's fucking cool. we've got a Santa who's a little jaded, but
jaded.
But he's still he's the Santa that everybody's aware of.
Yeah.
It's just a little more badass fashion.
Yeah.
A little more realistic.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and just like everything, dude, all these businesses
Santa.
that are being put out by big box companies.
Yeah,
it's even happening to Santa. Like,
yeah.
Well, and I think that's a metaphor. Like you can't kill Santa, but man, you will whoop his fucking ass though.
Yeah.
And if you'll notice, dude, a lot of people don't let their kids believe in Santa Claus now. That's not a lot of people don't do that anymore. That's on its way out.
Yeah.
Like Santa Claus will always be a symbol of Christmas, jolly Fatman, but a lot of people they won't do that.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we bought you these presents, motherfucker,
Yeah.
I'll do that. If I have kids, man, they're getting shit from Santa Claus. As long as they believe, we're fucking leaving cookies and milk, and I'm going to gobble them down. We're going to leave treats for the damn reindeer.
Well, the way that the wife and I, we did Christmas when the kids were a lot younger to keep that going. And I think because in turn, it put us in the spirit too.
Yeah. To do the whole hiding the presents and putting them out.
Because, we absolutely were like a lot of other parents. We were like, to you from mom and dad and everything. But then we would occasionally scatter the presents with random ones that would just be like, to you from Santa.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there was that mystery of like, the parents were in cahoots with Santa.
Yeah.
The parents contributed a little, but what's this motherfucker doing bringing the really good shit?
Yeah.
That's what I would do from time to time is, the gifts they were really wanting.
Yeah, that came from Santa Claus.
We would label them from Santa,
Well, because usually that's what you say, if you get them to write it down, we're going to send a letter to Santa Claus. I mean, they write it, you read it. It's like, okay, this is what they want. So a lot of times the stuff on there, like, the big things, like you said, that's from Santa Claus. And it's like, hey, you better be good this year.
Yeah.
Santa Claus
here's,
come for you.
And kind of expanding on what Travis was saying, here's what I never could understand growing up as a kid. Like, my parents would get me one thing, and then Santa would get me
something that goes with it.
Yeah, and I'm like, how the fuck does this work?
Yeah.
Like one year,
Santa Claus gets you the game system. They bought you the games for it.
Yeah,
like
that's exactly it. Like
same
one
thing
year,
happened to me.
one year I got the Game Boy. It was the yellow Game Boy with Pokemon Yellow, and like Santa got one, and my mom and stepdaddy got the other one. And I'm like, how did y'all know that Santa was gonna? How did he know?
You over there with a swap board?
Yeah.
I remember the one there were 2 times in my childhood where I knew my father pulled a Santa on me,
Yeah. You caught him?
Well, no, I just like as an adult I realized, you know what I mean? But as a kid I was like, holy shit. But when my dad got me a Genesis, it showed up like Santa, you know what I mean? Like it completely unspoke of. When I would bring up the Sega and everything, he'd be like, maybe soon, Trav, stuff like that.
He played you.
I remember, and I remember I got the Sega Genesis that came with the Sonic and Knuckles bundle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then probably the biggest one ever, and I don't know if this shows how fucking old we are. I remember when I was a kid, man, before like BMX was like a big thing and everyone wanted the Mongoose box and shit like that.
Yeah.
The sign of fucking you high rolling is you got you a bomb ass 10 speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
got gears, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, dude. Like I ain't got to pedal backwards, bitch.
Yeah. Got brakes on the handle.
But yeah, it was classic, man. My old man Santa Claus then a fucking bike under the tree, and I just woke up and it was there and was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Santa Claus got me a bicycle, the 93 Blizzard, dude. I remember getting the bike.
Yeah. Hashtag never forget.
I remember I was 1995. I was 8 years old, and I figured out what was happening.
Yeah.
because I found the presents.
Right.
I was home alone. My mom was gone somewhere for a little bit, and I was digging around because I was a nosy little kid, you know.
Yeah.
And I was digging around, and I went back in her closet looking for something, and I found them. And I was like, "What's all this shit in here?" You know.
Yeah.
And then it was all the shit I got for Christmas, and I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute."
Yeah.
When I was
this is-
opening it up, you know, it said from Santa. I was like, "Bitch, I saw this in your closet 2 months ago." You know.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you know.
What the fuck?
So then I started talking to some friends and shit, and they were like, you know, I was like, I don't know, man, something's up. Like, Santa brought my presents a few months ago. They've been there this whole time. We could have had Christmas in fucking October.
Right.
But that's when I was like, okay,
Yeah.
gigs up.
But Fatman,
Yeah.
I'm giving it a star, dude.
Yeah, dude. What an original
Yeah.
Santa Claus movie.
It was
I mean,
great.
I mean, dude, I think we all agree it gets the coveted real estate candy cane cookie.
Yeah.
All right.
Candy cane
get-
cookie.
The golden candy cane cookie.
Yeah.
That shit was.
It's got a candy cane R on it.
Yeah. Every time she brought them cookies out, he's like, let me fucking comp a few of these.
Yeah.
Every single time.
What was funny was at the beginning when he was driving in his truck to go get the mail.
He's got
He
that
had a
whole
plate
pan
of cookies and milk.
Yeah. But yeah, man, full star. It was so good.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's gonna be in rotation, and I'm gonna recommend this to people. It's like,
Yeah.
Oh, for
you know,
sure.
you want to watch a different type of Christmas movie? Go check out Fatman. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Any of our realists listening, man, fucking give this movie a go.
Give it a
It's
swing.
worth your time.
Very good stuff. Mandalorian, though.
New shit has come to light.
Well,
Coming in
I'll-
clutch.
I love how when Yoda or fucking Grogu was sitting on that rock and he did the little meditation thing with his
Yeah.
little fingers.
His little fingers even went into his.
It's like, oh
like-
shit, he's in it for
He's
real.
tapped
you
in.
know? Yeah. So
Back from the dead, bitches.
yeah,
Boba's back, you know.
Boba's back. He shows up. They land on this planet. He shows up.
It
Mando's
shows the fuck out,
like,
dude.
yeah. Mando's like, we ain't got time for this, kid. Come on. And the
Yeah.
Force, the fucking
He didn't even
Force
get close to him.
The
Yeah.
the only character in Star Wars that gets a grand entrance twice in the same 30-minute span.
Yeah. Right.
We get him rolling up with his fucking kendo stick, where he like that shot when he smacks that fucking stormtrooper and the helmet breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I was like, all right, Disney, I see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
And
did
then
that.
he-
They did that
and
a
then-
couple of times, and I
And
appreciate.
then he steps out in that fucking armor, kicks some
Yeah.
ass, and then Iron Man's the shit out of two goddamn fucking transports while he's walking away.
Yeah.
Put the visor down. Who cares if the actors gained a little weight? That was fucking cool.
He was like,
I
I
know,
actually meant to
right?
shoot the other one.
Yeah. No, that was so that I mean, I wasn't expecting Boba Fett to show up for
Not
sure.
like that.
No. And this was my question, Trav.
Yeah.
He lands his ship close to Mando's ship, right? I mean, it's in a close
Close
vicinity
enough
of
to me.
where,
They just a little walk.
yeah. So if I was Boba Fett, I'm running in that ship and getting that armor and saying "fuck this dude" and then leaving.
He took a minute
You know-
before he finally did it,
Yeah.
but he took a minute, and then they were hanging out because all these stormtroopers start showing up, and he's like, "Fuck these guys."
Yeah.
Well, when
Just-
he went for the armor, that was after after Mando explained to him the stipulations of the child.
Yeah.
And it came full circle that because I could see where you question it, but when he explains, he's like, "We told you we're gonna stick with you till the child's safe, man.
Made a deal.
He ain't fucking safe, man. Deal's a deal." And I was like, okay, so that does it, because I was thinking similar shit too. I was like, he's gonna get on there, he's gonna steal the Razor Crest, get his ship, or get his armor back, crash the ship, get back into Slave One, and be like, all right, Mando, fuck you.
Yeah.
Right.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.
But so I think there was some slight comedy to this episode. I mean, there always is with Mando, but like in particular, we got old school stormtroopers again, you know, the kind that have like a Gatling gun shooting laser beams that fails to aim just a little bit ahead of the target.
Yeah.
Doesn't move when a boulder's coming straight at him and it's not doing any fucking.
They do the get the wheel.
I mean, you know, there were some things needed to pull off what they did, but we got the fucking Dark Troopers. What do you guys think about that shit?
They're cool.
Yeah, they look cool. I like the way that they landed. The
way that they walk.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it was you know, it was a cool. You go ahead.
No, you man.
I just think it was a cool way to introduce them because you get all that teasing, you know, and you see fucking Gustavo. He's like, they're ready, you
He's
know,
always inspecting them.
Yeah, and it's like, what the fuck? Yeah, what is he doing? Why is he so creepy?
Yeah, what's up with these suits?
Yeah.
And so I think one of the most effective things this show's done is make our audience, us, everybody that's fucking on board the Favreau wagon with this shit.
Wagon?
We all give a fuck about this little fucking 2 foot tall, not even a foot, 2 foot tall puppet.
Yeah.
That when a robot snatches it, we're all like,
no.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
And,
well,
I mean, because this show, I mean, it is aptly named The Tragedy, and it hits y'all at once, man. They made us give a shit about the Razor Crest, you know, even to the point where we're like, man, he's got to go get that shit repaired, you know? Oh, man, when you just see the beam, when you see the orbital bombardment come down and just, no more ship.
This dude,
like, and that one shot to me just showed you just like, even though we get a lot of fodder with stormtroopers, and the good guys got to have somebody to kill, and we root for, you know, but Mando is so outgunned and outmatched under the might of the fucking Empire.
Yeah.
That even the fragments of the Empire are still like, the fuck you up, you know?
Yeah. This dude is so badass that he not only stole his bitch, but also blew his ship up from space.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit.
He raided the fridge and shit in the sink all in like 30 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't think they were going to get the kid, man. I didn't. When that happened, I'm like, no, dude.
Well, like, the show's hitting some plot points that I felt were going to happen, but not at this pace, dude. This is breakneck speed, man.
Well, at this rate, they got to get him back, and then they got to steal him again.
Like this episode would have been a crazy finale.
Yeah.
But we got 2 more left.
Did you see who directed this episode?
I did.
Robert Rodriguez, man.
And you could tell.
Yeah.
Did his camera work and everything? Yeah.
Oh, it felt like a full-on movie, man. Like when it went off, I was like, 30 minutes is already gone?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm sitting there like shuffling my phone, like, I need more.
Yeah. But
Grogu.
Yeah.
So
little badass, ain't he?
I mean, I think we're slowly getting this thing where they're gonna make Grogu bad fucking ass, because they made a point to be like, all right, so we have the big little standoff between Gideon and Grogu.
Little big head.
I don't know why I find that funny. Anyway, but he does the whole thing where he's like, yeah, you're pretty badass, but man, it tuckers you out, don't it, little fella?
Yeah.
You know?
Put the shackles on him.
Well, I feel like, they even gave him little shackles.
Yeah.
Little shackles, man. Where's the cabinet of those, you know?
When he was laying there with his little shackles, the camera zooms in on him. It's like, find out what happens next week on The Mandalorian.
Will Grogu survive? What fates will our little friend, entail? But I feel like he did that because that's going to be one of the things. It's like, all right, eventually he's going to learn how to conserve his fucking energy.
Yeah.
Then he's really going to be a fucking problem.
Yeah.
And, the whole part where he's fucking up the stormtroopers, he's just throwing them around like fucking rag dolls, dude.
Daniel.
Yeah. You notice that he kind of had a bit of a smile, like, okay, this motherfucker can.
He liked it.
You could perceive that in different avenues, as in like, yes, he's strong enough, he's what we need, or yes, let the hate flow through you, go to the dark
let it course
side.
Through your little green veins.
I feel like no matter how they cut this slice, they're gonna go with the route that he's eventually like. Grogu's gonna be like a time bomb as he like figures out his memories and his training and everything. He's gonna realize like the Empire's behind this shit. I'm gonna start fucking killing him because he doesn't have any formal Jedi training, unless it goes routes that I think it might go. But it's gonna all amount to where he's fucking some shit up, and Mando's gonna come out with the fucking the gear knob and be like, come back to me, buddy.
Yeah.
It's gonna bring him. It's gonna ground him.
Yeah. Well, and they might. This kind of might be the. They might take cues. Favreau may take cues from what they were doing with this last trilogy that came out, where there was a lot of gray area. You had Kylo that kind of went to the dark side and came back. You had Rey that you saw her tempted more by the dark side than anybody else. And it's a lot of gray area. So you may see that through the eyes of a child, which would be a very interesting way for them to do that, in my opinion, because it's like, yeah, I mean, he's a bad motherfucker, but at the same time, like,
well, just like with the way that the original 6 films of Star Wars was setting up the idea that Darth Vader brings, or Anakin brings, balance to the Force. That's balance. That means both. That doesn't mean we're going to completely wipe out evil, because then the hubris of the light side would kick in, and that's what caused all this fucking shit to begin with, was the Jedi getting cocky.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you're right. It's probably it may even boil down to where there could be a thing where it's like, hey, we hear there's a Skywalker that's starting a fucking Jedi Order, and Grogu may he may roll up in the place long enough for us to get a Luke cameo and be like, you know what? Don't think I'm about this.
Yeah.
I'm rolling with Mando. Like I'm in the clan, dude. You got the clan tag, Luke? I don't think so.
Right. But yeah, it's and I think this is going to set up for something good, and we may not get that. We may not get it in this season, and I kind of hope we don't, to a specific degree. But he's got, so it ended the episode. He's got to go break Bill Burr, and that's what we're gonna call him.
Mhm.
That's what I'm gonna call him. We got to go
breaking Burr.
Yeah, we got to go break Bill Burr out of this fucking,
the
Which tried to kill him before.
The weirdest fucking actor that's suddenly so important.
Yeah.
I mean,
but we got to break him out. So with that being said, the chick said she's part of the, part of the Republic or whatever, the rebels.
And then he's like, but they got the kid.
Yeah.
And she's like,
so yeah, so you're gonna have all this shit happening where it's gonna be like he's teaming up with her. He's got to go break Bill Burr out. Who else is he gonna pull in? And if there's 2 episodes left, then how's there gonna be enough time for him to assemble his crew and then do a full-on assault? I think that the next season, like the first half of the next season, is gonna be like him getting his people back together, him being forming a plan. Doing odd jobs to try to recruit people to help him get the child back. And then, because I think that would be a good mid-season point, and then the rest of it could be a lot of fallout from what happens.
Well, one thing they've been doing with the episodes, man, is they've been really good about, at the beginning of each episode for the past few episodes, and I would say probably the whole show, but particularly recently, they've been doing a good job of being like, here's a scene that happened earlier.
Yeah.
And then fulfilling it and bringing it full
Yeah.
circle and saying why. I really think, because for a show with as limited runtime as dialogue in that is like, it's crucial.
Yeah.
They're not going to put a pointless scene in an episode of The Mandalorian. At least they haven't done so yet. There's not a pointless scene that didn't later on affect the story. And I'm really holding on to this whole thing with the exchange between Mando and the two fighters from the New Republic.
Yeah.
I really think with the new ship, he's going to get a transponder, because if you think about it, it makes sense, because Gina Carano's character works for the New Republic now.
Yeah.
They're going to pony up with everybody like it's going towards it. They're going to go fight it out. They're going to fight some of Moff Gideon's forces, all this stuff. And I don't think Thrawn's going to show up. And if he does, I feel like that's going to be like the last thing we see this season.
Yeah.
If that's even a thing. But I think more Empire's going to show up. It's going to overwhelm the team. They're going to flip that transponder, and then the New Republic's going to roll up, and we're going to get like a really awesome, large scale
space battle,
like war sequence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll get, cut to footage from Battlefront 2.
Yeah. Right.
But I feel like it's working up that we're gonna get a clash between the New Republic and the remnants of the Empire, but we're gonna get it through Mando's perspective, obviously.
Which is gonna be badass. So
Because
I'm
that means
excited.
it means we'll get like a Rogue One style boots on the ground Star Wars film where we're not watching, even if Ahsoka shows up to do her thing, she's just the one Force user,
Yeah.
Everything else is going to be, duck and cover, warfare, all that kind of stuff. And that on a Star Wars level is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I want it. I want that. And I want that more than fucking.
I mean, just imagine a good wide shot where you've got X-Wings and TIE fighters fighting it out.
Yeah.
You've got Ahsoka going after Gideon or whoever for whatever reason, doing her shit. But it's almost like you see her in the distance, like in the episode where she showed up, where you don't necessarily see her, but you see her fucking sabers like deflecting blaster bolts and shit.
Yeah.
And then like Mando and everyone else, they're in the front. They get they're getting the screen time, but they're like fucking shit up. Mando's fucking vaporizing people with his rifle. And they're like, we gotta get the fucking kid, like, because that's the thing. I'm gonna feel like it's gonna be underwhelming if them getting Grogu back is just like a heist mission, like we've already seen that kind of episode where it's like, oh, they're gonna sneak on board the ship. Oh man, here's some guards. Like, I want it to be like, oh, you want this kid? You're gonna have to fucking be armed to the teeth, which Mando's more than capable of doing, particularly with Boba Fett and all of the people he's met along the way.
Yeah.
I want it to be like they're gonna blow a fucking crater-sized hole in the Empire and get that fucking kid back.
Yeah.
And you never know who's gonna show up. They brought back Boba Fett, dude. Like, you never know.
Yeah, think of the shots we're gonna get of Slave One fighting it out up in the air with everyone. Because it's Star Wars, so we're gonna get a grand battle at some point.
Yeah.
Even if it's not this season, the culmination of the show is gonna build to the very large scale, multi-front battle going on.
Yeah. Do you think that the series is gonna end with Mando dying?
I wouldn't be disappointed.
Possibility. It would protect the kid.
Yes, yes.
I can see that happening.
The more that we watch it and the more that we see what's going on here, it just feels like that is going to be the be all end all outcome where he's going to sacrifice himself at some point for the kid.
Yeah.
Because this is the way,
that's the way, and that's like the only way to separate them. I mean, to move on is for him to die, and that's going to be a tearjerker right there.
I know, right? I saw, speaking of Mandalorian real quick, I want to touch on this. So somebody tweeted the other day and they were like, how there hasn't been a a Mandalorian video game where you're going around and doing bounties and all this other kind of shit, and
That'd be cool.
upgrading your armor and upgrading your weapons and going to different planets and doing stuff. How we're not doing this is beyond me, and we're fucking up. One of the developers, you remember that game that they were working on for years and years? It was like 1317 or something like that. It was a game where you played as a Mandalorian, and that was the deal. It was an open world game. You went around and did bounties. It was, a story driven game with some. I think it was going to have some multiplayer elements into it where
But
you could like
mostly it
run
was
raids.
But mostly was it like an RPG?
Yeah, just an open world third person RPG. And the woman that was working on it replied, and she said, "We tried," and with a sad face. And I'm like, man, Activision really knows how to fuck stuff up, and EA. Like, they really know how to fuck a bunch of stuff up. Could you imagine how much that game would have sold? You know, I think the reason they stopped.
Or imagine like just on to make it on like, don't get me wrong, I would love planet hopping, but just to get you familiar with the game, imagine a game that's almost Shadow of Mordor style.
Yeah.
Where not necessarily you're like action hand-to-hand combat, but like you're the Mandalorian, you're doing bounties, you're cleaning up the Empire off this planet.
Yeah.
Dude,
And you
there
could
was
almost
a
go
full demo
you could go the
gameplay
Arkham route, you know? Oh, there was?
during
Yeah.
E3 in 2013.
Yeah.
They had a full, and there's already articles that are coming out now, like an hour ago, where people are talking about it now that it was tweeted out.
Well,
Yeah.
wasn't Star Wars Bounty Hunter the same thing? It was just an older game.
This was a game that
granted,
was
but
at LucasArts that Follow the Bounty Hunter, Boba Fett. Yeah,
Yeah.
they
And
tried,
now,
but now it could still happen.
yeah, they could get the team back together. But I think the reason that they stopped developing it and started developing that game with that kid from Shameless, that Corey was talking about.
Oh, they stopped this to do Fallen Order.
Yeah, and I think that they thought that the whole bounty hunter in Star Wars and all this kind of stuff wouldn't be as big of a draw as playing as a Jedi.
Man, I play the shit out of it.
Do these people realize how much money Boba Fett merch rakes in?
Right. So it's like, it's stupid, man, and it's that would have been a no-brainer. And then they were talking about at some point having, like, you make your Mandalorian and you customize them, and you have them outfitted the way that you want them to, and you level your shit up, and then doing like raids, like multiplayer raids with other people. And it's like 4 people dropping in as Mandalorians.
Imagine having to go up and do a raid against like a crate dragon or a fucking Sarlacc.
Yeah, anything like that. I mean, but I just wanted to touch on that. But I'm excited about this next Mandalorian episode, man. It sucks that it's, 2 episodes left and it's the end of the whole thing, but hey, I've enjoyed it, and they're doing great things. And to kind of segue into movie news a little bit here, they've announced the release date of WandaVision, which is going to come right in line with after Mandalorian ends. It's going to pick up in January. So
Hell yeah.
I'm excited about that as well. We're going to have to throw that on the list and kind of give it a week. Yeah.
With it being a primer for Doctor Strange 2, I absolutely am down for a podlock for it.
Yeah, right. All right, let me pull some of this stuff up because we've got a lot of shit here real quick. All right, so first of all, Warner Brothers they're going to debut entire 2021 film slate, including Dune and Matrix 4, both on HBO Max and in theaters.
17 movies.
17 films that include Matrix 4, Dune, In the Heights, The Sopranos prequel, The Many Saints of Newark, and The Suicide Squad will debut both on HBO Max and in theaters on their respective release dates. Shocking move to release movies day and date underscores the crisis facing movie theaters, the rising importance of streaming services in the wake of global health crisis. So it also is gonna include Denzel Washington's thriller, The Little Things.
Never heard about
Judas, yeah, biographical drama, uh, biographic. I can't. Judas and the Black Messiah, Tom and Jerry, Godzilla versus Kong, Mortal Kombat, Those Who Wish Me Dead, The Conjuring, Space Jam,
that. I mean, damn.
Remnant, yeah, Malignant,
These ain't B
King
movies.
Richard. No, I mean these are like legit, and they're kind of kicking it off with Wonder Woman, which we all know Wonder Woman on the subscription service is going to make gangbusters.
Mhm.
Whether you enjoy the movie or not,
Mhm.
you know. But on the heels of that announcement, AMC CEO has a harsh response to Warner's HBO Max plan. So this is what he had to say about it. These coronavirus impacted times are uncharted waters for all of us, which is why AMC signed on to an HBO Max exception to customary practices for one film only, Wonder Woman 1984, being released by Warner Brothers at Christmas when the pandemic appears that it will be at its heights. However, Warner now hopes to do this for all their 2021 theatrical movies, despite the likelihood that the vaccine's right around the corner and the theater business is expected to recover. Clearly, Warner Media intended to sacrifice a considerable portion of the profitability of its movie studio division and that of its production partners and filmmakers to subsidize its HBO Max startup. As for AMC, we will do all in our powers to ensure that Warner does not do so at our expense. We will aggressively pursue economic terms that preserve our business. Then it says, we have already commenced an immediate and urgent dialogue with the leadership of Warner on this subject. As this issue gets sorted out, we are nonetheless encouraged that vaccines protecting society at large against the coronavirus are very much at hand. So it is our expectation that moviegoers soon will be able to once again to delight in coming to our theaters without any worry, viewing the world's best movies safely in our big seats with our big sound on our big screens. So I've said it 1,000 times, but AMC, you need to fucking shut up.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
You need to work with all of these studios and create your own AMC streaming service that gets exclusive rights to this stuff for like 3 months, 6 months, whatever you work out, because this isn't going to go away.
No.
I know.
It's just begun.
Yes.
Well,
I know that I'm nobody, but I can see the writing on the wall where this is going to go. And you've already got people coming out against it. You've got, oh God, Tenet.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, you got
Yeah, I
Chris
mean, hey.
Nolan, a bunch of other
Fine.
filmmakers coming out against this.
Yeah,
But
I've added the link of with his comments on the matter as well. That way we can just kind of keep these all within the same moment.
right.
But yeah, he had he put one of his main comments was Warner Brothers had an incredible machine for getting a filmmaker's work out everywhere, both in theaters and in the home, and they're dismantling it as we speak, according to Nolan. They don't even understand what they're losing. Their decision makes no economic sense, and even the most casual Wall Street investor can see the difference between disruption and dysfunction. So, I don't. I could, from the director's point of view, they see it as like their main stage is being taken away, and they're more like
I
get where he's coming from.
Because
They put a lot of work
another one they
into
put.
it. Do they want that big release?
Another one that they put now is his right out the gate. He says some of our industry's biggest filmmakers and most important movie stars went to bed the night before thinking they were working for the greatest movie studio and woke up to find out they were working for the worst streaming service. Worst streaming service? I
It's a
don't know
little
about
extreme.
that. HBO Max has not been a terrible streaming service.
Yeah. He's just butthurt, dude.
He is. And at the same time, it's just like, Chris, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand that you you think that your movie deserves to come out in theaters. We went through all this whenever they released Tenet, right?
Yeah. And he got his release in the theaters.
Yes. With that being said, times they are changing. Whether you want to admit to it or not, people would rather consume their films at home as opposed to going out. That is just the
At
way
least
of the
have the
world.
option.
Yes. Now, I get what you're saying, and I don't completely disagree with you because going and watching Godzilla in a movie theater is a different experience.
Yeah.
And I think that's not lost on people. You know what I mean? I
No.
don't think that's lost on people whatsoever. So comments like that make it seem that like it's this great cut of the throat to the theater experience. And while it's definitely a stab at it for sure, I
Yeah.
don't think it's gonna. I think that as long as with the current world as it is, as long as there is a safe, viable way to go enjoy these movies on the big screen, I don't think people are going to ever shy away from it.
Yeah.
I think, like we've said in previous episodes, though, I do think that theaters are going to be for the blockbuster, the big on-screen spectacle. And I know that a lot of filmmakers and a lot of film critics and fans alike think that cinema's been dead for a long time because people don't necessarily go to theaters to watch a well-written drama or something that's not pow bang whiz, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that as long as there are people who think that way, there will always be ventures made to appease that audience. I don't think like the dollar cinema where people can go watch old films and stuff. I feel like that'll never go away. Will it take a hit right now because of current time of the current times? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But as long as there's people out there in the world that desire for whatever whatever type of consumerism, because we're all playing into it in one way or another. As long as as there is a desire for that kind of market, that market will be available.
Yeah.
But the dynamics of what's going to weigh more and what's going to be, the bigger money maker, we all obviously know that it's going to go towards the streaming service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been happening.
And
For 10 years, we've been moving
as we
slowly.
stated before, America's blockbuster industry is heavily reliant on China.
Yeah.
So I think that even though because of that and because of the streaming service thing, a lot of big directors are going to start walking away from some of these projects because it's going to be they're not going to get the money for the budget to ensure the vision that they have for said project. But I'm hoping what it'll do is that maybe where we see the decline in spectacle movies, or at least really well made ones, I guess.
Mhm.
The trade-off for that though is that we're going to get more quality writing now probably. Because if you get these big name directors, or if you get the few people who will be willing to continue to cooperate with Warner Brothers and all of that, which I think no one's going to ever fully walk away from them. Warner Brothers has too big of a bank account and too deep of pockets to not pay these people to do or to work for them.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to make it to where long format storytelling, like the streaming originals, like The Mandalorian. Had you let me watch the first, like if I was in a test audience and you were like, all right, here's The Force Awakens, here's The Mandalorian season 1, I probably would have been like, get the movie shit out of here.
Yeah.
and not because those movies were bad for whatever reasons that they were for, but it was because where there's not as much going on in the Mandalorian, but the writing is so good, and I think that's a sign of where things are heading and have been heading for quite some time. Netflix is killing it with their shows, or were killing it, and I don't know. I know I'm kind of straying off, but I feel like I'm getting my general idea across.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand exactly what you're saying, and it at the end of the day, I mean, Nolan, nobody has control over how consumers roll their dice and spend their money, right? And if you see something that is without a shadow of a doubt making more money in this specific way, then of course HBO is gonna and Warner Brothers is gonna make this happen. It's just it's just the unfortunate part of being in a consumer driven economy. And until like something with that changes and more is put into it, more spectacle has to be there. If you release an extended version only in theaters, then there's no reason for you to not go and watch this movie in theaters if you're a fan of said movie. You know what I mean? Like they're going to have to do more, and I think that that's where the filmmakers and the studios are going to be lazy, as opposed to like, okay, we can release it on streaming service and it's going to be like the quote unquote theatrical release, but in theaters where they're actually going to get a director's cut. Like now you've got a director and a writer and an editor that's got to sit down and come up with a director's cut that normally doesn't happen until it's released physically, right? So they have all this time to work on it. Now they're going to have to think about all this stuff ahead of time. They might even have to shoot extra stuff to put in there. But hey, that's just the way that the world is going. So you need to adapt to it and then go
And
from there.
absolutely. And
What?
I think it also echoes like what Adam has because I feel like Adam is the first person that brought this opinion to the table, because he's been saying it for as long as I've known him, man, since all the movies and stuff. And it's that people want to watch movies at home. That's the mindset. Yeah, there'll be people that'll go watch the movies, but for the most part, the majority is that they do want to watch them at the comfort of their own home. And for all of what we're saying, it still boils down that that's the reality, and that's the reality that movie makers have to face.
Yeah.
They want you to go see the movie in theaters. They want you to have the theater experience, but you can't give something to somebody that don't fucking want it.
Yeah. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I didn't
And
realize that Warner Brothers was the main production company and did the distribution for Tenet. So y'all know Christopher Nolan had to fight really hard to get that released in theaters. It wasn't easy. It got pushed back.
he probably had to remind
he had to fight.
those he probably had to remind those motherfuckers that he made The Dark Knight so
But
many goddamn times.
he got his
Like,
theatrical release. Now, he wakes up to news that Warner Brothers is going to release these 17 movies, which is a lot. Big names, too.
Yeah.
So
whole
it's
year's
like, he's
slate.
probably, to him, he's like, it's going to be harder next time around.
Yeah.
When he does a movie, he's like, he's like, he's already lost the fight. See, there's some things they got to rework, though. Like now, you can't win like an Oscar or something if it's a straight to streaming. It's got to be released on so many screens. I mean, it's time to rework that. A movie's a movie.
Well, and not only that, but to what you're saying though is like it's a free market. So he doesn't have to go through Warner Brothers to get his movies released.
He doesn't have to, but he wants that fucking big check.
Yeah. But I mean, he could probably cut a better deal if he went somewhere else and did it the way he wanted to and get more off the back end, because Chris Nolan releases a movie in theaters. Everybody's going to go watch it because it's a Chris Nolan movie. So he can play the market just like everybody else can.
Yeah.
So he needs to just
He
calm
can
the
still
fuck
get his
down.
theatrical release, but it's going to come to streaming service pretty quick.
Yeah.
Even if it's in the theater, dude, it's not going to, it's not going to be like it used to be where it was there for months and months and months. It's like, no, it'll be
Yeah.
there for a little bit and then it's coming straight to the house. Like,
Yeah.
well, they've all been forced into doing this and they're already seeing that it's working and they're making
Yeah.
probably good money,
Yeah.
really good. Well, like something I've always noticed with movies, like they do the big promotion for the movies. The movies, there's all this promotion, TV.
Yeah.
You see it everywhere. YouTube is promotion. So the movie comes out. The people that go watch it, and then the people that don't, they don't go watch it. And then 6 months down the road, it comes out on DVD. It sells all right. But having it closer when it's available in home, having it closer to all that promotion,
Yeah.
I would think you would sell more.
Oh yeah,
It's
for
fresh.
sure.
Everybody's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah. Because sometimes you'll want to see a movie, you don't go to the theater, you'll fucking forget about it before it comes out. But by the time it comes
Yeah.
out, you're like, oh yeah, I meant to watch that like 3 years ago.
And how much are they spending on marketing?
Yeah, that's
And
the
what
marketing budgets are usually like huge.
and it's not Warner Brothers' fault
No,
for taking the paths that they're doing. What's at the fault though is for chains like AMC. And granted, this goes without saying that I understand that the situation of the times is what's causing theaters to suffer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But if these people are so confident in vaccines and all of that, see that and that's a red flag to me, because with something as tricky as COVID and this whole crisis that's happened in the past 9 months, what this is doing is to for them to go and say, well, we just have faith that there's a vaccine. That's not AMC trying hard enough. What the theaters companies, and it's not just AMC, it's all these fucking companies, they have to go above and beyond to get the audience's trust back.
yeah,
They
Yeah.
have to go that, like, if there is a place that's going to abide by all of the CDC restrictions and all of the different types of means to function as a business, the business owners are gonna have to bite the bullet, make the investments in what they need and materials to procure to be able to make these theaters feel safe for the audience. Because if they're gonna make money, they have to rebuild that trust. It's not
Yeah.
Warner Brothers. It is not Warner Brothers' place to fucking do that. They're not the theater chain company.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
they got to get their return on their investment.
Yeah.
So
They can't
the first
wait
thing,
for
like,
years and
you
years to go
know,
by. These movies have to come out.
and who the fuck am I? But if I was over AMC, I would have made the statement of, I'm really sad. I would have been like, it sucks that Warner Brothers is doing this. I would have obviously been in the same boat, losing the same amount of money. But I would have been more of like, we're going to work to ensure
Yeah,
that this can still be a fruitful venture and that the theater experience for the audience can still be it can still be maintained and sustained through this pandemic until this becomes either, whether the new normal stays permanent or whether there's a new normal, but a little bit of how things work can still be implemented.
but when you read that
But
article, man, and he's, it's like the moviegoer's experience. We hate for people to lose that. It's like, no, dude, you're going to lose money. And
Yeah.
that's what you're upset about. Hey, remember Blockbuster?
Yeah, right.
Now you know how they felt.
Yeah.
I mean, and nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah.
We just put Blockbuster out of business. Almost every video store. Dude, I haven't seen a video store in years.
Yeah.
I mean, do they, we've got one Blockbuster left, the documentary about, but video stores got put out of business. What about all the people that sunk all their money into that? And that was their,
yeah,
livelihood.
people who's not just on a worker level,
Yeah,
for
not just
employment level,
Blockbuster, little mom and pop video
but
stores.
if we're still thinking in terms of the audience, think of how much money families think about how much money we collectively invested in whatever plan we had at whatever video store we frequented the most, which usually
Yeah.
was Blockbuster. But you go in there, you get the membership, And then, you know, all the deals where it's like, hey, I'm going to end up renting 2 more movies than I wanted, but because it's a deal, I did it, you know? Like, think of all the money and time that you put into that. And then when Netflix, the advent of Netflix and online streaming came away and did away with that, think of that phase of going from where everyone was like, okay, I'm going to watch a movie, grab the keys, let's go to the video store.
Yeah.
That transition from that to, all right, I'm going to pull up my phone and pull up
All
Netflix.
you got to do is sit down.
It's the better part of 10 years that it took for that to finally take hold. It's going to take another 10 years or maybe 5. I mean, who knows? I mean, who really knows? We don't have a crystal ball on this shit. But if we're going in terms of how that happened, maybe within the next 4 or 5 years, the studios can reshape things to where you could still do that. You can still, you know, that you can still have the full theater experience. The movies are still made to be of the quality you would expect from theater, because when everything shut down, the damage that was done, although brief, was absolutely irreplaceable or irreplicable, whatever you want to call it, whatever big term you can throw there for like that. It affected the industry on such a level that they're having like they're having to almost rebuild this shit from the ground up, or they're gonna have to. They're trying not to, clearly.
Yeah.
But it's gonna take a complete rework from top to bottom to get this on a place that feels like it's like it feels financially viable for the film director to be able to do a vision and make it. Because at the end of the day, all these motherfuckers, the only reason good quality films don't get made is because somebody wanted to make a little extra money.
Yeah.
When it all boils down to it. And I don't know, it's just it's a shitty state of affairs, because movies are what, I mean, it's the foundation of this podcast, but it's the foundation of a lot of people's source of entertainment.
Yeah.
And this could go in so many different directions where either we lose quality films, we lose the frequency of
I don't think
films,
the
or
quality's
there
going
could.
to suffer, even if it's going straight to streaming.
I mean,
I
and
don't
you
think
know,
that'll be, depending
you're
on the
probably
company.
right.
Like, I
You know,
don't,
you're
they'll still
probably
put
right
money into it because they're making it. They're going to make their money overseas, and those people are going to go to the theater. Like, that's always, there'll even be people here. They'll still go, but it's going to come out earlier for people to get it at home. Like, or it's just going to come out straight at home. I mean,
I'm not sure if we ever covered it or if any of us dug into it or not, but I assume Mulan, with the way that Disney did it, where for a while there, if you wanted to watch it, you had to pay a little more.
it was $30.
Yeah, I mean, let me Google. I want to see how much Mulan made off of there.
We couldn't find the number of it.
According
You
to
could
this,
see the box office numbers, but
Disney Plus grosses exceed 200 million
off of that alone
in less than 2 weeks.
So that doesn't include the box office. That's just from streaming, and that's a good number, dude.
Yeah.
Put and that with the theater and the box office. That's, I mean,
okay, so its theatrical box office was 70 million.
Okay, see.
So I mean, there's our fucking night and day right there. Streaming.
I think that's what started. You know, when they saw what they brought in.
In 2 weeks, Mulan broke even, because it was a $200 million budget for the film, and in the first 2 weeks of it being on Premier Access, it made that money back.
Yeah. Normally, it takes a little longer. I would say a few weeks, maybe 3, 4, like a month for a movie to kind of.
So it seems like a reality that a lot of studios, not just Walt Disney, but Warner Brothers and everyone, is they're going to realize that it's going to be a while before they get that next $1 billion money or movie.
Yeah.
I think that's like that's the worst reality of it all, is that they're not going to be able to drop a film and it make $1 billion in 3 months.
Yeah.
But it's still making really good money.
Yeah. Well, according to this, it says that an AI processed this. So they have an AI powered algorithm processing raw, unstructured data sets. Reported on September the 4th that between September the 4th and September the 12th, Milan was purchased by nearly 29% of Disney Plus subscribers in the US, beyond making this the most watched film on Disney Plus in that 8-day span. It would also suggest a significant growth beyond previous industry. The cat's beyond, sorry. It says here that going off of that data, it says that there's 60 million global subscribers. If one estimates half of those subscribers live in the U.S., a conservative estimate considering Disney's brand popularity in America, that means that out of 30 million Disney Plus subscribers, 29% rented the film. 29% of 30 million is 8.7 million users. 8.7 million users spending $30 would make the gross 261 million. Thus far, however, even if only 40% of Disney Plus users are located in the US, 29% of those subscribers be about 209 million. So they're saying that it grows between 200 and 275 million
in the
in the
U.S.
first 2
alone.
weeks. In the first 2 weeks, yeah.
Doesn't include everywhere else.
No.
So
Now
numbers
that's all
got to be bigger.
Yeah,
I mean,
and like I said, that's all algorithms ran by this AI.
yeah.
So I mean, but 2 weeks and you gross over 200 million.
Yeah.
That's a winner any way you cut it.
Well, dude, it made enough for them to push all these other movies out. Because, like, this year, once they started doing this, where it went straight to streaming, it's like a snowball, dude.
Yeah.
Rolling down a mountain. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, we're raking. And then all this stuff you don't have to spend on the promotion and the.
Yeah.
You're cutting a lot of cost going straight to it.
Yeah. Yeah, because it promotes itself on the streaming service. So
Yeah.
like, and you're not spending any for that. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's the world is changing, and I understand that you've got filmmakers that want to be filmmakers, and that's always going to exist in some form or another. But they also have to understand that like they can play with their dollar as well, just like we can,
Yeah.
and that they can go to the places that they need to go to in order to get what they need done. So as opposed to like waking up and raising hell about it, how about you proactively think of a
Yeah.
different way of releasing your films instead of just bitching about it? You
Break
have
out the
control
swap board,
over it.
dude. Figure something out.
Yeah. Yeah, you have complete control over where your creative ideas go. Now you figure it out and let us as the consumers enjoy those however you put it out. If Chris Nolan wanted to self-finance a film and take it around like Kevin Smith did, he would make more money
Oh, yeah.
in the US alone.
Oh, yeah.
But he would have to put in more legwork.
Yeah, he's not going to do that.
So he needs to get over his little ego complex. That's all that it comes down to. And anybody else that wants to fucking get behind this hating on HBO Max and Warner Brothers and all this stuff, they're lazy
Yeah.
and they don't want to do the work. And that's it. That's what it boils down to.
Get with it or get lost.
Yeah.
Love you, Christopher Nolan.
I mean, I enjoy Christopher Nolan's films. I think that he's a fantastic writer and filmmaker. But at the end of the day, I can vote with my dollar just like he can vote with his.
Yep.
And I didn't go watch Tenet in theaters.
Nope.
Now, if the coronavirus and all this stuff wasn't going on, would I have went to watch it in theaters?
Possibly.
Would have been there, dude.
Yeah. But guess what? I can watch it right now if I want to. So, what are you going to do, Nolan?
Checkmate. King
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. So, Black Panther star Letitia Wright tweets controversial vaccine video, says she's being canceled.
Oh. She has since deleted her social media accounts.
Oh, okay.
For fear of like losing all of her, her jobs.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
It was either delete that fucking account or you don't work.
Yeah.
we don't have to go like too deep on that because
Yeah.
we might
yeah,
get canceled. But
right.
she tweeted out a video about doing, people questioning vaccines and are they safe, and because normally you need like years to get these things, safe.
Yeah,
And
I
this
get
one
it.
is coming out pretty quick.
Yeah. Well,
It's like the interview of Bill Gates when they were talking to him about his vaccine, and they were talking about people dying and getting really sick, and he said, "Well, that's what happens.
yeah.
Like some
Yeah.
people die. I mean,
So here's the thing. She can have thoughts and opinions, and I may or may not I may,
yeah,
agree with her or disagree with her on this. But guess what I'm not doing? I'm not right now on the podcast one way or another. You know why? Because I have my own personal beliefs
yeah,
about it, and a lot of people are very particular about this thing. So maybe not go to social media and like,
probably shouldn't do
you
that.
know, yeah. How about
Well,
you just shut the fuck up?
personal beliefs are just that, personal.
Yeah. Now we can sit here when the recording's not rolling, and we can sit down as friends and
Yeah,
have a debate about it and see different points of view and things and not be offended and quit being friends with one another. But we also don't have 450 million people that are reading about it on Twitter as we're
yeah.
talking
She
about
she
it.
has a large
So,
audience, and
yeah.
they came after her and they told her that you got a lot, but still, does she need to be canceled? No, but she made a bad call there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like every other celebrity that gets a wild thought, and instead of like finding people around them that they trust and that they've been friends with and having an actual debate about it,
Yeah,
or hell, even searching out like Neil deGrasse Tyson or someone like that,
yeah.
you're in a position to where you can consult these people
You could probably get his phone
and
number.
yeah, and be like, hey man, this is what I think. What do you think
Yeah.
about it?
Do you think this is
As a
safe?
Yeah, as opposed to like, this is what I think. Okay,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
fuck
what you
that.
need to realize is like all those people on Twitter, they're not your friends.
No, they
And
don't
when
give a
you
fuck
post some
about
shit they don't like, they're
yeah.
coming after you.
Well, it's like people have forgot. Well, besides the people who are, people have forgot that like Twitter is ran by influencers, man.
Yeah.
And an influencer's job is to persuade a
Influence.
certain opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's to get you to think a certain way.
Yeah, so
Now, whether it's innocent or something as serious as coronavirus,
Well, now she knows, and a lot of other celebrities should take a page out of her book because she was going to be the star of the next Black Panther movie. Like, I mean, she's riding high, and
I mean, that's a
now
good
she
gig.
may not be. I mean, who knows? I mean, I think that's a little fucked up if she loses the spot in the movie, but
yeah.
Well,
But let's
you never
I
know.
think we, I think Disney's not going to jump the gun like they've previously done,
yeah.
like with James Gunn.
No gun intended.
I just feel like and like you're saying, it could absolutely be something that happens, but I think it's going to be that decision's going to be made
I think it would be met with
after
more
some more
backlash
discussions. You know what I
if
mean?
that
More
happened.
discussions made. Oh yeah, I mean that's its own can of worms for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that
So
was worth mentioning. It's something that happened during the week. And
yeah. So next up, Oscar Isaac has reportedly been cast in the role of Solid Snake in Sony's upcoming Metal Gear Solid movie.
So he's the kind of actor that you could be like, I'm casting Oscar Isaac as the Oscar Mayer weenie van, and I'd be like, good job.
yeah,
Yeah, it makes
good
sense.
actor.
Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't know that they were working on
Had
Metal
no
Gear
idea.
Solid movie, but if this is going to be a big budget, action flick with him playing the lead, I'm in.
Yeah.
Sold American,
I think the only thing that most people are kind of hoping comes with this is that maybe inevitably, at least from the gamer's perspective, because I know a lot of people who hold Metal Gear near and dear to their heart. I think a lot of people really, really hope that Hideo Kojima joins as an executive producer or is involved in some way.
I think he will.
Because if anyone who's not had their head under a rock the past 20 years, Kojima wants to be a film director, but he's too smart and makes a video game instead. And all of his movies have always had a cinematic flair to them.
Yeah.
I mean, about a year or two ago, they were hyping up Death Stranding like almost like it had movie level marketing.
Right.
In terms of like its frequency of advertisement, I mean, I know that people weren't buying like bags of apples with solid
Who
snake
did you
on
guys
it,
say? What was the guy's name? You would hope.
Hideo Kojima.
I don't see him on the list, but he may come on. They've got an IMDb page up. Oh yeah, he's here. Oh yeah, it's based off his video game. Of course, he's there in the writing credits, but additional crew. He's an executive producer.
Good.
Yep, he's on the list.
Oh yeah, because even though it was received with mixed reviews, Death Stranding was something,
Is he the guy that made that?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, they put a lot of work into that, dude.
Dude's big. He's a big movie fan, and I've seen interviews where he's really wanted to ultimately make a film.
Yeah. This might be his foot in the door, dude.
And how full circle would it be that it's the first game that got him famous?
Yeah, right. So we got some more casting news here, and I just wanted to kind of touch on this a little bit. But they're doing a Invincible animated series. Robert Kirkman's Invincible.
I've read a little bit of this. I haven't jumped in to the book like I did Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if it was that or it was something to do with it was some sort of supernatural thing. This looks more like a super team.
They uploaded a teaser.
They?
Yeah, it's in that article. I'll put it in the trailer thing.
Okay.
It's a very, it's like a minute and a half. October the 8th teaser. Kind of got that. You'll see. It's coming on Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah.
So we'll check.
So they've added.
But what's the cast looking like?
So they've added Marshala Ali,
Sold American,
Clancy Brown, Jeffrey Donovan, Ezra Miller, Jamon Hanso, Jonathan Groff, John Hamm, Nicole Byer.
I mean,
great voices.
Dude, you had me at Marshala,
Yeah, right.
Mahershala, I'm sorry.
I don't know. I'm calling him Mashallah.
But then John Hamm, I mean, dude, every role that man touches is gold.
Yeah. And apparently Stephen Yen is playing the kid, Mark Grayson. And J.K. Simmons is playing his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Is it his tempo? That's the only question.
So did you guys, speaking of Robert Kirkman, did you guys happen to check out the show he had? Because I just realized what I was thinking. There was a show he came out with either earlier this year or it was last year, but it was called Outcast.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other night with Corey. We were talking about Walking Dead, and we started looking up some of his other stuff. Now, have you seen the show?
Yeah, I watched.
They had a whole season, right?
Mm-hmm. Me and Deidre gave it a go. If there's one thing that I mean, Walking Dead had great writing. The comic.
Easy.
Pump the brakes. The comic that Kirkman was writing was fantastic. I think as long as it stays within that man's vision,
yeah,
the dude's got potential to release really great stories. So I think this will be good.
Yeah.
I like that it's animated because they could do a lot with that.
Oh, for sure.
Would require like a large budget to do stuff. So being animated they can do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Well, they can mind bend if they need to.
Yeah. So next we've got Spider-Man 3 is bringing back Alfred Molina's Doc Ock.
The news of the night,
Man, this
gentlemen.
better not be a joke.
I dropped that 2 minutes after I saw the article break. I had to look to confirm as well.
Well, remember he said I won't confirm or deny it last week.
I mean, this if anything should give you hope for the next Spider-Man movie, it is the fact that we're going to get the villain from the best Spider-Man movie coming in clutch with it.
Yeah. So here it says that the new report confirms rumors which popped up earlier this fall. It was initially reported that Molina, I guess that's how you pronounce his name, was spotted on the set of Spider-Man 3, but no official casting news was given from either studio. Now the Hollywood trade has confirmed the sequel Otto Octavius is back, and his return is prompting more clamor about a Spider-Verse storyline joining the MCU. So it says here that at the time of this report, Marvel and Sony had no comment about the casting. However, this comeback is just the latest that ties together generations of the Spider-Man films. Spider-Man 3 has already confirmed the return of Jamie Foxx as Electro, following his debut in Andrew Garfield's second outing as the masked hero. The actor even teased this MCU sequel will include multiple versions of Spider-Man in a now-deleted post on Instagram, and this evidence has led fans to speculate a Spider-Verse scenario is being cooked up by studio heads. As they expected, this newfound announcement about Molina has netizens convinced former Spider-Man stars Tobey Maguire and Garfield will also star in this movie somehow. So it's Spider-Man 3 is slated to debut on December the 17th, 2021. So
Marvel knows how to make a fucking movie, dude.
Says it was announced that Doctor Strange will appear in Spider-Man 3 courtesy of Benedict Cumberbatch, but his role in the film has been kept quiet. So
bringing it all together, dude. Dude, as soon as Marvel gets involved, they're like, all right, we got this.
Yeah, right.
We're going to show y'all how to make a goddamn Spider-Man movie.
Well, I mean, who could they cast right now to be Doc Ock?
Dude, if they cast anybody but him, I'm going to be pissed. And so is everyone else.
Well,
I mean, somebody could do it, but why? As long as he's alive and willing, goddamn, you know?
I feel like this we could sit and pick apart the implications of what these castings could do, where the Spider-Man story as a whole could go. And I think it won't do justice to the movie we're going to get, because we're going to have the final movie in the Spider-Man trilogy, the MCU Spider-Man trilogy. And it's going to also clearly be incorporating its Sony counterpart. So I think regardless of where they go, this movie is going to be fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is just the people they're letting us know about.
Yeah.
You know they got to be keeping some shit a secret.
I mean, Willem Dafoe, man.
Yeah.
Could you imagine him coming back as...
It'd be great.
As Green Goblin? Or hell, you could even get Tom Hardy and have the Venom stuff start coming into play there. Like, there is no telling where this is going to go.
I think it's leading to that, dude, like everybody.
Yeah. Well, they're getting their Sinister Six together.
That's what's happening.
So, I mean,
it's time.
I think with the way the relationship between Sony and Marvel is, or at least the way it's presented to us, the fans, is that there could be the plug could be pulled on the Spider-Man shit at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
So I think they're taking the opportunity, because I mean there'll clearly always be more Spider-Man property created.
But right now they got a deal worked out,
and I think
they want to do it big.
I think they're going as clutch. I think you're right. They're going as clutch as they can. And
if they can rake in enough
really,
money, dude, then maybe Sony will, like, I mean, Sony likes money too.
well,
I like
I think
money.
it's a power. I feel like it's a power play by Disney to be like, because the underlying thing that both companies know is that Sony's got, while Disney has all the Marvel properties, Sony's got the poster child for
Yep.
it.
Yep.
And so long as that happens, Marvel's always going to kind of be by the balls in this.
Mm-hmm. Got them by the short and curlies.
So I think it's a power play by Disney to go so hard with the Spider-Man movie, this one individual superhero film, to build up rapport from the fans and really, be like, look, you fucking need us. Like you can't, like y'all have tried twice. You've jump started 2 Spider-Man sagas twice, spent 2 movies telling the same goddamn story.
Yep.
Yep.
And look where it got.
And then we
you.
came in and
Look
knocked
at-
it out of the fucking park.
Look at what we did with 2 individual films and 3 tie-ins.
Here's something I'm noticing about those. So they've already said that Jamie Foxx is coming back, and that was the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Andrew Garfield's probably going to be in the movie too. All right.
Yep.
Well, now they're telling us Doc Ock's coming back. That's from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yep.
So, and they haven't confirmed or denied that he's going to be in it, right? Like, you know, in that last movie, we got that little taste of like the multiverse.
Yeah.
So all this
with
shit's got to be
Jameson.
coming from the different,
Yeah.
So I picture, dude. I mean, if they're bringing Doc Ock in, well, he was fighting Tobey Maguire, so that motherfucker's got to show up too. I mean, they're gonna get all 3 Spider-Mans together.
We're gonna get so much fucking Spider-Man, we'll be sick of it.
Well,
and they'll make enough money to
really,
buy the fucking rights to it, dude.
Well, here's what I think. All right. I'm going to piggyback off of what Travis was saying. I think that you're right. Disney is setting up a fail-safe for themselves. And how do they set up their own fail-safe? They bring all the Spider-Man together and say, look, we have 1 Spider-Man, you have 2 Spider-Man. You play 2 Spider-Man, we play 1 Spider-Man. Like they're spelling it out for them in baby talk, basically, where it's like you can do whatever you want with the character. We want to use this one little set of Peter Parker and Spider-Man right over here. And we're going to actually bring all of the rest of the Spider-Man stuff together for you. We're going to write an incredible story and we're going to give it to you on a silver platter so you can go fuck it up again. So here, let us keep the Tom Holland Spider-Man and do what we want to do. And we're going to give you 2 options for Spider-Man. Actually, 3 options. You've got Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. You've got Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And you've got Miles Morales Spider-Man. So you've got 3 different Spider-Man movies that you could be making right now that you're going to inevitably fuck up. But we want to show you that fans still care about those Spider-Man and that you can do whatever you want to with them and it's still going to make money. We just want to keep Tom Holland Spider-Man for ourselves.
Yeah. Let us finish our story. You finish yours that you've already got 2 going.
Yeah. So go fuck your own stuff up. We're going to reboot your Spider-Man universe for you.
We're going to fix your shit.
Yeah,
and you still get a cut.
Yeah. Now you go play with your 3 Spider-Mans and your Venom, and we just want to keep one little 3.5-inch Tom Holland Spider-Man to ourselves over here. You got the 12-inch, you got the 12-inch fucking Tobey Maguire, you got the 12-inch Andrew Garfield, you got the 12-inch Miles Morales, not cast yet, and then you've got Tom Hardy coming in at the ultra mega 16 inches. Go play with those.
You think Childish Gambino?
Well, he said it was his cousin, right?
Or Miles Morales?
Well, I think
He'll
that
probably
he'll
go
be
with
in it.
Might be in it.
Here's my
He'll
thing.
probably go with a younger.
And granted, even though the 3rd movie wasn't as clutch as 1 and 2, even though Sam Raimi, to a degree, got to finish a trilogy of films, he still didn't really finish a story.
Oh.
because I mean we all know the details of the now defunct Spider-Man 4,
Yeah.
but Spider-Man as a hero has never gotten a full story on in cinema.
Yeah.
And this movie is going to be the one to do it. And so I just want them to be able to keep the family long enough to let the kid graduate, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you know,
have the divorce once it's all behind us. But let us at least have one complete start to Spider-Man tale. And I think audiences will forgive all the other bullshit throughout the years.
So Sony wants $10 billion for the character. Disney was like, we'll give you $5 billion.
Yeah.
$5 billion.
But here's the thing, though,
one
man.
character.
When someone and $10 billion is more than they paid for Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's
and the Marvel shit, right?
Billions of dollars, $50 billion. That's
but here's the
to
thing,
like...
though, man. Someone did the math one time and was like, if they buy that character, they will make their money back and some. Because just think about those big blockbuster Spider-Man movies, dude, raking in. If they go Sinister Six, if they go, how much money they will make their money back. They will buy the character.
That only costs these big budget movies, like you're saying, that only cost a fraction.
Yeah, Far From Home generated $2 billion alone.
Yeah,
they will buy that character,
and they will
pay an ungodly amount of money for it.
And never mind the fact that you're paying that, like with $50 billion, you're getting one of the most iconic characters in comics.
Yeah.
B, you're getting all the royalties probably of all the properties, that everything that's got that motherfucker's name and face on
everything.
You're gonna you will inherit that money.
I don't know. Sony might want to hang on to the game. They might want to hang on to the game, which could be worked out. I mean, hey, could be worked out. But what if this is what they're doing, man? They're making all these Spider-Man movies with them. And then they take the money they make off of them, turn around, and buy the character.
That'd be hilarious.
Just put a little with it.
Yeah.
But also what I was gonna add
$10 billion
is give us a full Spider-Man, a full Peter Parker Spider-Man story, and this is probably going to be heresy to a lot of people right now. Give us a full Peter Parker Spider-Man story in film before we start getting face fucked with Miles Morales stuff.
Yeah.
At least cinematically, let Spider-Man have a full tale and pass the torch on to Miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
Granted,
ready for
we've already got into the Spider-Verse, but that's the most comic book movie that exists is Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
So it's on its own.
And apparently the animated movie is really good, right?
It is. It's fantastic, dude. Like I totally agree with a lot of people. Like while it's not my favorite hero in the Marvel pantheon, I can absolutely agree that it's the most comic book fucking film ever made.
Right.
Hands down, dude.
I feel like they need Spider-Man. They need Tom Holland, dude, to move forward with some Avengers stuff.
Yeah.
They need him. Iron Man's gone, dude. What if Into the Spider-Verse, in the Spider-Man movie, he goes into a little multiverse and fucking Iron Man's there? They bring Iron Man in again? I mean, dude, it could happen.
Well, it would be. I just think it would be badass if
it's gonna be great.
They're filming sequences where Tom Holland shows up because Wibbly Wobbly, and he's at like the moment where Doc Ock is about to, sacrifice himself to, he's seen the error of his ways, like at the end of 2, and he destroys the building that's got that reactor in there. What if Tom Holland comes in clutch and changes those events?
Oh shit!
And because of that, Doc Ock's able to run free, and that's and dude, it would be even more batshit insane if we get the Sinister Six because of time hijinks instead of just them being like, let's band together. That would be even crazier if it's like, we have all these different Sinister Six from different where and whens,
Yeah. Well, and they could also tie like the events of Spider-Man 2 into it, because like, okay, at the end of Spider-Man 2, like he shuts the reactor down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what if that opens like something up and he
Yeah.
gets sucked into it?
Yeah, what if that's or yeah, what if they
that's what
retcon
started
it
the
to where
multiverse?
instead of him dying, Doc Ock got sucked through the like a
He's in
black
the
hole, for
vortex.
instance. Yeah, and he gets spit out in either the or like let everything gradually meet itself somewhere. Like he gets sucked out and he's spat out in the Amazing Spider-Man's universe, and that's how he gets Ryan.
Well, I was excited for this movie, but now I'm even more excited, dude.
And
Yeah.
then they fucking time hop all together into Holland's universe, and that's how we get Vulture and Scorpion.
Yeah.
They already got my money.
Or you know what I mean? Like, I just like I said, we could sit here and predict how this like like going in the Spider-Man is like with the X-Men. Like where we normally talk about Marvel stuff, we could literally dedicate a whole episode to talking about just Spider-Man's lore and all of the possibilities that it could go and all the fan service that people would want out of a Spider-Man movie and have been wanting,
Yeah.
And I mean, here's another crazy thought that could be on film. What if they find a way to incorporate the final issue of the Amazing Spider-Man and have Melina's Doc Ock get inside the mind of Peter Parker of Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker, or fuck, even worse, fucking not Tom Holland because plot armor, but do it to Andrew Garfield. Because here's the thing, because of this, they could, the creative
could kill
liberties,
one.
like they could, yeah, and one of them obviously will die. I feel like that's going to be the big tragedy of the
Maybe
movie.
they kill
is that
the
one
OG though.
Yeah, do they do it? Maybe which Spider-Man bites the dust?
Doodle doo doo. But yeah, I'm excited for. I mean, every time they announce anything or tease anything or confirm anything, or with the Spider-Man movie, it just keeps getting more and more interesting. And I love how they're not coming out and they're like,
And
"Yeah, he's Doc Ock." They're just like, "He's
yeah.
on set."
Yeah.
Now, what would also be great too, and I think this would be a really cool idea in terms of filmmaking, is Sam Raimi be able to film all this footage, and we get all this news where it's like, oh, these guys are on set. It might be incorporating pulls from this story, or it may give us telltale signs that they're setting up for this movie or this particular storyline and what have you. But what if Rami is just getting as much footage as he possibly can with everything, and then they refine it and we get just a really good streamlined Spider-Man film that incorporates all these different universes?
Yeah.
Maybe Doc Ock might make the cut, maybe he won't. Maybe he's on screen for 2 fucking seconds, long enough to be like, "Hey, I'm canon now. What the fuck?" and then gone,
Yeah.
But either way, like else, I agree. The more that comes out, the more interesting it gets, and it looks like it's building up to where it's like we're gonna give you the Spider-Man movie you've been wanting and some.
Yeah, right.
Is this next article like real?
Yeah, there's a trailer I dropped in it.
Okay, but
So,
Yeah,
Huh?
I saw this, man, and I saw. I did a what?
Well,
I kind of did a double
guys,
take,
look at
and I was
this.
like, I gotta do.
So
it.
we all remember Colonel Sanders.
yeah.
What's up with
Yeah.
this? He's
So-
like, "Hello, I am Colonel Sanders."
I'm thinking this is in the same vein as Will Ferrell and the other chick when they did
But it's
Casa de Mi
Lifetime.
Paja for Life. That was what that movie was filmed for too, man, was Lifetime. And it's like Lifetime has this weird avenue where they know what they make.
Yeah.
So they're gonna spoof.
Well, they said he's gonna
themselves.
be like the sexy Colonel Sanders, like
Yeah.
he's gonna be laying the women
in
down.
the middle, in the middle of or once the passionate sex scene happens, he sits there and goes, "I think I need one of my Colonel $5 Phillips," and he does a product placement.
Would you like a mashed potato bowl, baby?
I love the things in this article. So here it says that It is a new mini movie produced in partnership between Lifetime and KFC. Trust us, you read every word of that sentence correctly. The Saved by the Bell stars playing the face of KFC in a classic movie that promises, and I quote, mystery, suspense, deception, and quote, foul, unquote, play. Because, you know, it's a bird.
Yeah.
It's a foul.
Oh man.
It says
Like
here.
there's gonna the scene that where he drives her away is because he's like, I've got 6 herbs and spices, but I need 7.
Yeah. It says here in a quote, Lifetime is the perfect holiday home to bring this spicy, unexpected tale to life. Through a terrific cast and with a wink to the unique sensibilities celebrated in Lifetime movies, this co-production spotlights each brand's POV and marries them in a fun and authentic way. A&E Networks delivers custom creative that our audiences and clients love.
Wait a minute. It's 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
He's smoking a cigarette and
It's
he goes,
fucking YouTube video.
It's a
Yeah.
mini movie. He goes, biscuits are in the oven, and I ain't talking about the kitchen.
Yeah, so this is just gonna be funny. It's also like a commercial because they're doing some kind of celebration. If you order over $20 more on a Sunday, you'll get a free delivery of 6
You can get a free
crispy
$5
tenders.
fill up.
I think they're trying to make up for the. Remember when they had the Oprah Winfrey free chicken thing and people were killing each other and fighting and shit?
I like the whole marketing scheme that KFC is doing, where like they essentially have made the Colonel be like
Funny.
Doctor Who for food.
Yeah, remember when
These
they did those
different actors,
commercials?
like, yeah,
And they
like
had Crybaby, that comedian.
My favorite one, was Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah.
He was the Colonel.
He did a good Colonel.
Those were some.
And then
Those
Ray
were some funny
Liotta,
commercials.
he
Man.
did a good one.
Oh yeah, they were all like, didn't they do one where Ray Liotta was playing the Colonel and they were like spoofing Goodfellas or something?
Kinda.
Something like that. I don't know.
What's his name? I can't think of his name. Walter. It's over the line. He did some in the commercials.
My favorite was fucking
Thor.
No, the fucking Norm.
Norm Macdonald.
His was my favorite by far.
So it's pretty much a 15. It's a commercial, and hope they don't put too much in the trailer. It's only 15 minutes.
Right.
That's funny.
But I've got it dropped in the thing, so I'm.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready.
It's time to move on into trailers.
Do y'all want to watch that one first?
Yeah.
As a nice little segue into it.
Yeah.
Recipe for Seduction. I might have to watch this after a while.
Is it already out?
It comes out the 13th. So it comes out this Sunday.
Oh yeah, that's when they're doing their promotion the same day.
Yeah.
All right, hang on.
I might have to order some fucking.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. KFC ain't what it used to be.
No.
You know what I'm talking about? It tastes different.
Well, here's the problem with KFC. I don't know about y'all, but I ate it so much growing up.
Same.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, dude. Like, I had it just so much, it's like,
yeah.
I don't really want it anymore.
So it's like, what? Now I don't even want to think about KFC because, like, whether it was family functions or just regular
somebody
supper,
always brought a bucket, dude.
Yeah, always brought a bucket. So it's I had it so much I couldn't tell you the last time that I ate KFC.
It's been years.
Yeah.
One of the family functions I was at, there was a bucket there. I didn't even go into it.
Yeah.
But I like those biscuits.
Oh yeah, them biscuits are bomb diggity, dude. Yeah, for real.
But yeah, let's watch this. Y'all got it pulled up?
I'm ready. Yeah.
You got it up, Trav?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. This is going to be hilarious. They should have done a whole movie, though, longer than 15 minutes. Like, It's like Telemundo, dude. One of those Spanish soap operas.
I love it.
It's funny because even the people at Lifetime, they know what kind of movies they make. The
Yeah.
He Did It movies.
There's
Yeah.
something honorable in that, you know? Like, if you know what you make, like, you're aware of what, like, they know their place in the world.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they picked a lane and they have not steered out of
Nope.
it for fucking 30 years, dude.
I mean, are they my cup of tea? Absolutely not. But, like I said, I can respect a company that knows what the fuck they're like. They know their demographic. They know what they're known for. Like they're part of the meme.
Yeah. And they embrace it and they're like, all right, we've got something for you guys. Colonel Sanders. I'm surprised that they didn't make an hour and a half long movie.
Yeah, like a
to be
full.
honest. Yeah.
Instead of just a short. Well, he's real busy with the Saved by the Bell reboot.
Well,
Oh, there's no telling how many ideas they probably spitballed at one another.
he's got a secret recipe, guys.
A secret recipe.
Yeah.
All right, I've got
But yeah.
Falling pulled up.
Yeah, I'm ready. People are talking Oscar nom in the fucking
I
comment.
mean, it's got our buddy Vigo.
Well, he says
It's
that
a-
he gives Christian Bale a run for his money, considering how much weight he lost since Green Book. Well, it has been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
I
is his
smell an Oscar.
directorial debut.
Oh, he's directing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm ready.
Yeah.
he's gonna act his ass off, dude.
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Already.
Yeah, the coveted crying monkey. All right, a little dementia.
Oh, I've seen the trailer for this. I've seen this. I think we've seen this.
No, this was a different one. The one where the guy's losing his shit.
Yeah, this is it, man.
That was Hannibal Lecter in that movie. The
I
one we
swear this
watched
is
where I
that
was
movie,
like,
man.
I haven't seen this. But we did watch one where a guy was losing
No,
his
I
shit
remember
and it was
this because
Hannibal.
I remember Griffin making the comment because that's fucking Bishop, dude, from Alien.
Yeah. I think that's a different trailer than the one we
Oh, okay.
'cause
that
we
could have
did
been the
watch one
case.
before. Yeah. But
Either
that's a
way,
different
I
trailer.
mean, still looks fucking great.
I don't know what this one is. American Skin. It's like American Pickers.
What type of skin are you gonna have in the game?
I want to watch that Canadian
American?
Pickers. They were talking about it on Letterkenny. He said that's what he
God.
likes to watch when he's writing Letterkenny because they're like
Yeah.
they're very Canadian because he's like, you know, they'll go to somebody's house and be like, he was a really nice guy, you know, and then it cuts to the guy. He was like, he's a nice guy. I hope we meet him again. Like everybody's just really nice.
Yeah. This woman's comment, I got to read this real quick. Realized I was holding my breath the entire trailer and felt nauseous. Powerful AF. All right.
All right, Joanne.
Yeah, calm down.
All right, y'all ready?
Ready. Yeah.
Ready, Trav?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, play. I'm gonna hold my
I'm
breath.
already. Yeah.
I don't know who Nate Parker is. Oh shit. Is there a problem? They're gonna shoot one of them, dude. Yeah. Damn. Oh no. sucks. They're gonna shoot up the police department?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, let's not put that idea out there.
For real.
I mean, dog day afternoon up in this bitch, dude.
Wow.
Damn. Alrighty.
I mean, we're going to do that on the pod, right? I just need to know if I'm pod locked on it or not.
It's up to y'all.
Next, we've got
Liam Neeson.
Yeah,
He'll find
the
you.
mark.
And when he does, he'll kill you.
No, he's gonna beat him to death with his dick.
Wait, his line was taken by others.
Ooh.
It's like you hear him before you see him. Like pop, pop, pop,
Guy says
pop.
he'll find you, and when he does, he'll kill you. And it says, Liam, good luck. I have a particular set of skills. All right, 3, 2, 1, play. All right. It's no country for old men right there, you know?
He's about to tell you in the wind.
I like the way it looks.
God. I'm so sick of that fucking kind of music. Sorry.
They should have used that.
The make it.
Tell you, what was that? The Rambler, the Gambler, the back. Sooner or later, guy's gonna cut you down. Should have used that.
The most ignorant old white man at the border of Mexico.
It's the cartel. Not today, motherfucker. I didn't see this coming. He's gonna protect them. Oh no, she dies. They shouldn't have put that in the trailer. Low and slow. Could you imagine if it was Clint Eastwood?
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of has that vibe, don't it?
Damn. Damn.
Shoot that tire out.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't think that would happen.
I missed the mark.
It kind of looks pretty good, man.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
I feel like you're gonna find out the kid, like they were actually up to no good, but like it's like, no,
stole
fuck
that
that. You're in
money.
America, you're free.
I'm gonna take you to Chicago.
Like I think that's the twist. I think the kid's still innocent, but like, you know, Liam Neeson, you know, he learns to laugh, he learns to love, and a little bit about being a marksman.
There's this trailer. You didn't drop it. Hello. The very excellent Mr. Dundee. Is this Crocodile Dundee?
Is it?
It is. I'm putting it in there.
All right.
Hang on, Code Red.
Found another
Look,
trailer.
dude.
Okay. Well, they were talking about making a follow up to it.
Crocodile
So,
Dundee's the shit.
yeah, right.
All right, hang on. Let's see. I got to do my comment. Comments aren't loading. All right, what's this one? Let's see. Hunted.
Hunted.
All right. Is this another Liam Neeson movie? No.
I think it is.
Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, play. All right.
Oh, it's a Shutter. Jesus Christ. I've hit a deer before, but you know.
It's just like Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
Braveheart.
This is like the prequel for Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, right. It looks pretty good, man.
Yeah, it looks like something I'd watch with my wife. It looks up her alley.
It says young girl, what, 42, 43?
Heard it. I don't know what this is, but it's a comedy, so I figured I'd throw it in here. Cause why not, you know?
Ready when you guys are.
Hang on.
Yeah, I'm good. Bluth,
Comment.
Life Spirit.
Randy Blythe Spirit. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2,
Yeah.
1, play.
Anyway.
Surprised they didn't put her name in the actor.
Oh shit.
It's a cool shot.
Somebody's a fan of Tim Burton, you know?
Some cheeky bastards here.
The prequel to Beetlejuice looks interesting.
Uh-oh. And then it really happens? Oh, it's her. Leslie Mann, that's her name. Dame Judi Dench. Cheeky.
I feel like this is obviously not everyone's cup of tea, but it looks like it might have a couple of moments, you know?
Yeah. No, it looks pretty good.
I mean, it's in that. I feel like this movie would sit beside the Birdcage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a way. But anyhow, rot.
I like this comment. I might watch this B movie for once. Doesn't look too bad. At least it doesn't show the whole movie in the trailer.
Anyway.
Y'all ready?
Oh yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. Cool music.
Keep that beat thumping. This is a movie about rabies. I'm calling it.
I don't know. That looked like that thing from Men in Black there at the end. Sugar, water.
More.
More. All right.
This is from the Tokyo Comic Con.
So maybe some more footage?
Possibly. I haven't watched it, but you know.
Mobius son.
All right, y'all ready?
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Too much talking.
I like his little script that he's got right off camera.
Mm-hmm.
Kept looking
He's looking
at,
to
you
the
know.
left,
Yeah.
back and to the right. He went through a transformation. All right.
I want to watch it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready for it. I want to check it out. So yeah, this is the teaser for Invincible. So I'm pretty interested. I like this casting. Casting was like, well, the dad has a mustache. Get J.K. Simmons on the phone now. But I'm ready for it.
You ready, Trav?
Oh yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. I like the animation style.
Yeah.
Looks like the same company that did the DC
Yeah.
animated films.
Damn.
I like his costume.
Probably would have left that out.
The costume?
Nah, Critter Walking Dead.
Oh.
It's just so people know, I guess. Oh shit.
I'm interested because I never read any Invincible, but I'm interested to see what Robert Kirkman's take on Superman is.
Absolutely.
So, and I hope that they're adapting the stories like the same way that the same way that DC adapted a lot of their comic books stories or their graphic novel stories into animated. I hope that they do the same thing with Invincible and take liberties with Kirkman's permission, of course, you know. So next we got Dundee, dude, and I'm pretty excited. I didn't even see this one, so
Right.
this came out.
Talk about some nostalgia, right?
Yeah, this came out today, starring Mel Gibson and Chevy Chase. Dude, I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh man.
I didn't see that coming. That's not the line. He's singing. Oh, can't do anything right. All right.
That comes out in 2 days.
I mean, not what we were expecting,
No,
but at the
dude.
same time, didn't
Not
realize it
what I
was
was
what we
expecting.
needed.
Like,
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, there's some comedy gold. There's some legends in that one.
yeah.
I mean, I'm in it for Chevy Chase and John Cleese alone, dude.
He said, "That's not the line." I've been doing this for 20 years. That's a lie.
I like that they did. I almost kind of appreciate that they went that route instead of trying to
do another one.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, it was a pleasant curveball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it worked for Bruce Campbell.
Yeah. So what do we got next week, fellas?
Batman Returns.
It's been a minute since I've seen this one.
Tim Burton.
I'm excited about it, though.
Yeah, dude. Trav, you said you were watching it the other day, right?
I thought about firing it up sooner, but I never got around to it. But I'm excited to watch it again, man. I think for the longest time before the new wave of comic book movies, man, this was probably my favorite Batman movie of all time.
Right. Hell yeah.
Because, I mean, we all know what we're getting. We're getting 89 Batman, but refined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's sequences in this movie that we all are going to be waiting on. The Batmobile turning into the thing, and you know.
Yeah.
Y'all know that was bad as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danny
When we were
DeVito.
kids.
With
Oh,
his little
dude.
weird hands.
Oh, and he has that
He's
mock
shaped
up
like a
toy of the
fucking pear.
Batmobile that he's fucking like back and forth on, controlling the Batmobile and shit.
But yeah, we're doing Batman Returns, next episode of Mandalorian. All I got.
Yeah. Continue to wash your goddamn hands.
To be continued.